And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. You could be anywhere in the whole wide world, but you're right here with me, and I definitely appreciate you for that. We got quite a few topics on deck for tonight. Climate change, California fires, New York flooding. Somehow they're all related. Somehow climate change caused the fires in California. Like, it's not the fault of the California government for not picking up the brush that's fueling the flames. Like, it's not the power line that got struck by the tree branch that started the fire. Like, it's not somehow the fault of the power company for not burying the lines. You gotta blame climate change. Same thing in New York. You have flooding in upstate New York. And hopefully everybody is safe. People that were affected by the fire and the flood. I don't mean to make light of a tragedy, but people are blaming the floods and the fires on climate change and Donald Trump. Oh, because Trump is against California taking over the entire country's carbon emission standards. That must mean he is complicit in the fires. And since he has gotten out of the Paris Climate Accord, that means he's responsible for the floods. Like, there's been no fires before Trump, no floods before Trump. I mean, at a certain point, it's like, come on, what are we even talking about? Climate change, I think, is a big scam. People just trying to get rich. Al Gore. What did Al Gore invent? Not the internet. If he didn't invent anything, if he has no real big companies of substance, why is he so rich? What's up with this big sprawling estate? Isn't that a big carbon emitter, gas? We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And I thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. Like I said, you could be anywhere in the whole wide world, which right here with me, and I definitely appreciate you for that. Every Saturday, I'm here, John, 100%, and I thank you for joining. Definitely appreciate you. Yeah, the California fires could have been easily prevented. I mean, the main thing is that, shout out to whoever sent me that email about why they didn't clean up the brush. They're trying to preserve the spotted owl. So you have an environmentalist, basically, that has caused the conditions to be favorable for a fire. And the power companies are somehow not allowed or are refusing to bury the power lines. So you got these power lines that can easily get struck by anything and spark. I mean, I've seen it. I've been on the road when a transformer blew up. Okay. It blew right up right next to me. It was dangerous. Why would you put that right next to a pile of brush that can easily catch on fire? Even from the smallest ember can catch on fire and burn down acres and acres of land in California. Okay, it's simple. The reason why the fires are spreading like this is because of man. Shout out to my man. I forget who that was, but he's been living in California for 40 years. Davey. Shout out to my man Davey, D-A-V-I, the singer who was at AmpFest with me, Robert Davey. Shout out to him. He was on TV or on some kind of interview talking about how he's been in California for 40 years and there was no, just rampant wildfires like this. The weather's been the same. You can't blame climate change. So if the weather's been the same, you're in the same place, the terrain hasn't changed, what can you blame it on? You got to blame it on man for not doing the proper things to prevent fire. From overdeveloping, maybe, probably just from not preventing fire. Simple. It's not really that difficult to understand. But somehow, I guess Trump is to blame. Trump is the reason why the fires are raging. It does not make any sense. And the same thing in New York. They're trying to say, oh, well, Cuomo, Governor Cuomo said we didn't have any hurricanes before climate change was a thing. But they had a hurricane in 1938 that hit Long Island and killed 600 people. I guess you forgot about that one. I think there have been like close to 100 hurricanes that have hit since the 17th century that are on record. That's not even including the nor'easters, which in many cases can be just as bad as hurricanes. So I don't understand where he's getting this whole thing of we didn't have hurricanes before. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. This is not a new thing. You're on the East Coast, even if you're upstate, inland, or whatever, that state is still on the coast. So you can have a lot of, weather come straight off the coast. And even if you're all the way in, like in the Midwest, you're still going to have you're not hurricanes, but bad storms. And you might even have hurricane remnants that come through and, behave just as badly sometimes as like low force tropical storms, nor'easters, or whatever. So, yeah, Trump is to blame for everything. I see you, blah, blah. Hey, man, I'm going to get to the calls probably in about another 45. So if you're still here, man, hang tight. I'll try to get you on. So shout out to you, man. 100%. Yeah, a nor'easter is a hurricane. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. See, they don't count nor'easters as hurricanes, but those hit all the time. I mean, they call nor'easter northeast. You know, that's where they hit all the time. Yeah, exactly, Marty. You know, that's what I hear a lot from people in California, also like New York City, especially. Not just New York State, but New York City especially. They like where they live, but the problems that are propping up are because of the leadership. It's really bad in California where it's such a big state, and geographically, culturally, it's different from north, south, central. It's just not the same. In the city, outside of the city, the hills, downtown LA is way different. But LA County is so big, and the Bay Area, you know, San Francisco is so powerful, so much money. It's hard to pull away from that when you're talking about the state's politics. They're dominated by the money centers and the population centers. So people that don't live in those particular areas specifically have to be ruled by them. Even if they do live there, they're kind of under the boot of the Democratic Party, and they may not want to be. So it forces them to leave. A lot of people are leaving and don't even understand why. People on the left, they don't even understand why. They go into Texas and they think, oh, well, if I go to a red state, that'll just make things better. But they take their same voting habits with them. So they're not really going to improve at all. They're just, you know, they're taking the same problems with them. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Shout out to 50 Phil, who says, I just came back from Florida the same time every year, and the water remains the same on the beach. There it is. That's pretty much how it goes. And shout out to Bucolic Buffalo, who says, you, sir, are a classy guy. I love your show. Keep it up. Hey, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. I try to keep everything family friendly, everything cool. That's just how I like to be, just in general as a person. But thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you, boss. And shout out to everybody in the chat. If you're just now coming in, you're enjoying what you're hearing so far, or you like the channel in general, please get the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. And if you are not subscribed for whatever the reason may be, maybe you got quote unquote unsubscribed by quote unquote accident by YouTube, you're a new viewer or whatever the case may be, go ahead and subscribe right now and click that bell right beside it. When you click that bell, you get notified when I go live or post a new video. So click that bell for me and subscribe. All right. So shout out to everybody. Let me see. Now, Beto's done. I thought that I would see Kamala Harris come out and say that she was done too at any point in time because, all right, you're firing your whole New Hampshire staff. You're not getting any traction. It's not really working out too well for you. They had her front and center. I remember what was this, like 2017, right around then? Her and Cory Booker were always front and center when some random Senate hearing that you would never see any other time. It'd usually be on C-SPAN, tucked away in the corner so nobody could see it. They would have her, you know, Ways and Means, some random committee hearing, and she'd be out there front row and center talking. Okay, same thing with Cory Booker. I'm like, okay, they're grooming them to become the president or to become strong nominees. They're trying to get their faces out there. But it's a certain something that you got to have in order to stand above the rest. It is what it is. Pocahontas, in my opinion, doesn't really have it, but she has it more than anybody else. You understand? Like, she kind of would get a nomination by default because she's not as goofy as everybody else. But if you are a person that is not goofy, if you have this certain je ne sais quoi about yourself, you're able to leap above the rest. That's why Donald Trump was able to be successful because, number one, I mean, beyond just having the money to be able to do it, being a rich guy, being a famous guy, he had that certain something about himself that was able to just dominate everybody else. Personality was just way too strong. When a guy like Jeb Bush comes in the room, he has a weak kind of personality. Nothing against Jeb as a person. I don't know Jeb. I'm just saying, when you compare his personality to Donald Trump, it just ain't really there. So you got to have that in order to go forward. Kamala Harris does not have that. You're talking about Elaine from Seinfeld. And that might be kind of a disrespectful thing to say to Elaine from Seinfeld. You understand? She is just kind of goofy. She reminds me of a DMV employee. And if working at DMV, nothing against you, I'm just saying that might not be the person that you put in front of the world to become the president. Maybe they need to have a certain level of following behind them already, people that like them already. I'm seeing documentaries about Kamala Harris from people that lived or currently live in the Bay Area, Oakland or whatever, talking about, oh, one guy said he was in jail for 6 years and he was innocent, and Kamala Harris was a prosecutor. And then when he was trying to get out because he was innocent, before he got out, you know, she was trying to keep him in there. She didn't want to see the new evidence. I mean, she does not have a really good track record. People do not like her in many cases back home. The quote unquote black community, a lot of them don't like her in her actual home. So if she does not have that certain character that's able to bring her over the top, if people back home don't like her, if she has a spotty past with Willie Brown, the mayor of San Francisco formerly, if all of that is going on, why would you think that this person is a qualified individual to try and prop up as a potential candidate? Same thing with Cory Booker. They're trying to push this whole thing about he is dating Rosario Dawson. It's like, do you believe that for real? do you really believe he's dating Rosario Dawson? I mean, why would Rosario Dawson date Cory Booker? You're talking about a world famous actress, a woman that, you know, is desired by men all over the world. Why would she pick Cory Booker? Looking like a sixth grade PE teacher. It just don't make no sense. You can't say it's because he has money. I mean, what does Cory Booker do aside from being a politician? He's not his parents. Is he involved in tech? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Cory Booker's like this real rich guy, has a whole bunch of money stashed away in the cut. Maybe I'm just incorrect. I don't know. But I think Cory Booker, I don't know if he's gay. I don't know what's going on, but I think they're just using Rosario Dawson as somebody to have right next to him because it's kind of weird to have a bachelor out there trying to become the president. That's really uncommon. And if you're going to be a bachelor, you got to be like a JFK type smooth character, handsome, young. And Cory Booker just don't really fit that mold. So he needs to kind of be looking more like a family man. And quite frankly, I think Rosario Dawson might not even be the wave. He should have got like a regular normie from the streets to be his stand-in. Maybe it's about star power. They're doing some really weird things. So at the end of all of this, none of them have a chance. They should all drop out and just let Pocahontas be the nominee. Or let Hillary come back in and let Pocahontas and Hillary fight for it. Bernie Sanders, unfortunately, is pretty much done. Heart problems. He's not going to really be able to continue, in my opinion. Unfortunately, I don't wish harm on the man, but your health is your health, and you really can't do too much about that once you get to a certain point. Joe Biden, he doesn't know where he is, who he is. Obviously, his mind is leaving him. He's not going to be able to continue. Andrew Yang and Tulsi Gabbard are not establishment enough. They don't really fit into the mold of what the Democratic Party wants. It's the same thing that happened in 2016. Bernie Sanders was the same way. He did not fit into what the Democratic Party wanted. So when it became real close, like neck and neck between the two of them, Martin O'Malley was discarded right away. Like, get out of here. We don't want you. Young guy, a little bit of energy. Establishment over here. Hillary, this is my time. Bernie Sanders, 100 years old. This is my time. Let's go ahead and fight it out. They're neck and neck. What happens? You have all kinds of little weird things that start to pop up. You have coin tosses going 4 times in a row or 6 times in a row in one place for Hillary Clinton. That seems pretty interesting. Okay. And we know about the Arkansas situation, the Clinton Crime Foundation. We know about all of that stuff. So that's an intimidation factor right there. So that, in my humble opinion, is how Bernie Sanders was able to kind of get X'd out of the race for Hillary Clinton to be the person. So if that happened in last election time in 2016, what makes you think that a person like Tulsi Gabbard or Andrew Yang will be able to have any kind of success in the Democratic Party? They might as well run third party. But if they do that, that's going to just split the Democratic vote. You may get some from the Republican side, but not much. You would get more vote from the Democratic side. And I'm not really sure if they would get a whole lot because this ain't a Ross Perot situation. They don't really have money like that. So who's going to actually fund them to be able to do that? It'd be kind of weird at the end of the day. Shout out to Sandy Summer of 69 for being a member to the ABL squad. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. And shout out to all the members in the chat. I appreciate you guys. And the super chatters as well. You guys do great. And thank you to everybody that's in here. Please hit the like button, the share button, subscribe button, all that good stuff. And click the bell because you get notified if I post a new video or go live. Oh, I already know Jay Strongbow. I'm with you. It says Tulsi is a gun grabber reader platform. Yeah. Tulsi, big time gun grabber, pro-abortion. Like she's a liberal, but at the same time, she's not on board with some things that the Democratic Party does, mainly the war. You know, because the Democratic Party want to go overseas, have endless wars. You know, they say that it's the Republicans that want to do that, but really it's them. Because when Trump pulled troops out of Syria, it was only like a handful of troops out of Syria. Democrats had a meltdown talking about, oh, you betrayed the Kurds, it's that and the third. It's like, well, Trump ran on the campaign of ending the wars. So if any troops, I don't care if it's 1 to 100 troops, why would you be against it? You know, let them handle their situation over there. It is what it is. Let me see. I'm reading the chat here. Thank y'all for joining. I appreciate it. Darrell says someone will step into the commie Bernie's position to pursue the commie agenda. It may be Tulsi. The worst evil is the best disguise. It could be Tulsi, or it could be Andrew Yang. Honestly, I think that might make the most sense as far as communism is concerned, because he has, you know, the UBI to me kind of smells of communism. Oh, no, we got your money. Don't worry about it. You want spending money for yourself? Or we got that. Don't worry about it. Here's $1,000 a month. And, you know, since you won't have a job anymore due to automation, here's your standard living pod. You can get your Wi-Fi, your Amazon Prime, all that good stuff right here in this pod. It's only 100 square feet, but it's all good because we got security. You can't have a gun, of course. No guns in here because they'll have guns. And you know what? It'll be a big barbed wire fence around the whole situation, so you won't have any outside invaders. And if you want to leave, here's your little key card. But we kind of cut your key card off at night, so we don't have anybody just trying to bring in drugs and whatnot. That's kind of how my brain works. That's kind of how I see people like that going. Maybe I'm just being far-fetched, but I just kind of how I think. So I think it could be a guy like Andrew Yang that comes up with the commie card. And they already have those pods. They have the pods already in California. They're already kind of like beta testing them as we speak, so that ain't really nothing new. Let me see. Mike, Michelle Obama says that she does not want to run. I mean, quite honestly, I said months ago that if Michelle Obama and who else, Oprah, were to run, then that'd be the best ticket. They have the best chance. They lose, but they do better than Pocahontas and who would be the running mate? Pocahontas and Cory Booker? Ew. That's your squad? That's your dream team right there? No chance. If you have Oprah, you have instant star power, international star power. If you have Michelle, you have former First Lady, also instant star power, and they're both black. So people that vote for them don't feel guilty about voting for a white male yet again or a white female like Pocahontas. So it'd be a winner, but they don't want to do that. So I don't really understand. I don't get it. It is what it is. Oprah's been doing all kind of speaking engagements, going to colleges, doing little political stuff. She could just hop in there in 2020 with Michelle and they would wreck shop. They ultimately lose still, but it'd be a fair fight. I don't want to see nobody just beat down. I don't want to see Mike Tyson beat up a random guy on the street. I mean, good grief, man. Put up a fight. Put your hands up. Protect yourself. Don't just get beaten to submission like Pocahontas and anybody would do as a running mate. I mean, come on. Yo. Everybody gets a sports card. That's hilarious. Jonestown Autopsy says Tulsi voted yes to rules of POTUS impeachment. Yeah, all the Democrats did. A matter of fact, pardon me, I take that back. Not all Democrats. 2 Democrats abstained, but it was not anybody that's currently running. Not anybody that's currently running. Anybody that is in the House of Representatives that's a Democrat that's running for president right now, they all voted to go forward with this particular phase of the impeachment process. Not necessarily impeachment. There's all kind of little things they got to do. It's like, man, just come on with it. Just go ahead and get to the next step. We don't got all time. We don't got all day for this. We really don't have all day for this. Filthy Phil says Tyson cracked somebody on streets in New York. Hey, I hate to see it. You ain't trying to see nobody have their whole side of their face just caved on in. I hate to see it, for real. Put up a fight. Get a professional boxer. How about that? Or some headgear or something. Good night. Everybody get a drone strike? Yeah, exactly. Zodachis King Sword. 100%. Let me see. Now, the whole culture war situation, I'm going to talk about that right quick, but I won't spend too much time on it. My thing is, let's ask legitimate questions, but when at a certain point you keep asking the same question over and over again after it's been answered, even if a question is answered and you didn't get the answer you wanted, it doesn't even really matter that the question was answered. When you keep asking it over and over and over, at a certain point it becomes trolling. And what's up with this whole hate towards gay people? I never have heard that up until the past couple of days. You know, I don't really understand. It's weird. It's just kind of a fringe movement that won't really go anywhere. You know, you don't have to be a gay person to tolerate gay people. You know, it's weird. I mean, we can go to Afghanistan where if you gay, hey, you get, you know, tall building, you get chucked off, you can get stoned to death. If that's what we want, if we want Sharia law, that type of thing, you can go over there. They got it. But we don't have that here in the States. It's simple. Let me see. But I'm reading the chat, you guys. And thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. It's going to be bad for anybody who runs Rob Fox. 100%. It's going to be really bad. But I can't wait to see it. I'm ready. And the media, listen, the left are prepared. They own the media, academia, social media, Facebook, Twitter. Who's the heads of those? Every college. I mean, there's some colleges that aren't totally indoctrinated by the left. And also public education, K through 12, is dominated by the left. Academia in general is leftist dominated. They got all these ways to be able to try to attack you. They're going to be they're going to be fired on all cylinders. All of that is going to be raring to go, ready to rock. So, you know, you really don't want to give them any kind of ammunition. And even with all of that, as long as we stay on point, they don't have a chance. They have none whatsoever. Shout out to Mitch. Sir, let me talk. Hey, you know, that's my thing. I like to interrupt when people are trying to interrupt me in a very nice way. There's gay Christians. You go to church. Go to any church right now full of gay Christians, especially the black church, the choir director. I mean, come on. Don't nobody say nothing. It's just really, I would say church has a disproportionate amount of gay people in it more than other establishments. What you going to do about it? I mean, you're going to just kick everybody out, come as you are, right? You know, only God can judge, right? But see, that's why I don't like getting into, you know, religious arguments, because everybody has a different kind of point of view. And I don't like to disrespect anybody's point of view. I like everybody to have their faith and have them be able to practice their faith and how they see fit, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, as long as you're not, you know, Allahu Akbar, strapping the bomb to your chest and killing people. I'm all good, man. However you want to practice. If you pray to the sky, if you pray to whatever, that is your business. I respect that, especially Christians, because this nation was built on Christian values. However, I'm not going to say that you have to be of Christian values to be a conservative, because that's too vague. That's like saying, I don't know. It's so vague, because what does that really mean? Everybody thinks differently. There's denominations of churches think differently. Different people think differently. Pastors think differently. It's just so many different ways. Different countries think differently. I don't like getting into that kind of talk. As long as we on the same page and you're not hurting anybody, you're not doing anything illegal, as long as you for closing the border up, as long as you for just the things that we need, you know, the Second Amendment, you know, protecting children, just basic things that I like and we need and our rights in this country. If you for that, then we can get money. And you know what? One thing is that I've been self-employed since I've been like 21, right? And hold on, before I even talk about self-employment, who's promoting homosexuality? If I get on stage with somebody that is gay and we talk about conservative issues, how am I promoting homosexuality? You know, if somebody says we live in America where gays are able to live and not get killed for being gay, is that promoting homosexuality, or is it simply stating the fact that we do not have Sharia law here, that if you're gay, you're not going to be killed because you're gay, and if you are, it's a crime like anybody else would be, you know, if you kill them. It's not really that difficult. That's not promoting. That's just called stating an obvious fact. If I say, hey, the sun is in the sky, are you trying to accuse me of sun worship? It's like, nah, it's a fact. The sun is in the sky. It's right there. I can see it. Exactly. Let he who is without sin cast the first stone. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't like to judge people for, you know, being a sinner or nothing like that, even when I was a Christian back in the day, because I have to face the same judgment. I can't judge you. God can judge you. I'm not your judge. That's how it should be. We can't be going around Bible thumb. You know, there's one thing I got to say. People ask me all the time, hey, I have an aunt or my mom or my cousin or my brother or my dad. How can I convince them to become conservative? It's like, you can't. You can't, because what happens when you go to somebody, especially an adult, and you try to convince them of something that they don't want to do? Okay, you over here, you were liberal, you on the left, you're going to try to go to them and say, hey, what you're doing is wrong, this, that, and the third. They're not trying to hear you. It'll make them back away from you, because now you judging them, you saying that their lifestyle is wrong, and they take offense to that. So it's like, what's the point of trying to like hammer home your ideas to them? All you can do is just lead by example. If you're hanging out with somebody, you can hope that your influence will rub off on them, and maybe they find their way to wherever you think that they should be. But at the same time, you cannot control somebody else. Whatever kind of path they want to, pursue, that's going to be their prerogative. All you can do as a good friend, family member, or whatever the case may be, is lead by example. If you don't want to deal with somebody because they're in a particular lifestyle and you don't appreciate it, then you don't got to deal with them. But don't try to Bible thump. The most effective way for somebody to get to the better destination or better path is to lead by example. But you can't be trying to Bible thump. That's going to send them the other way. You're going to be counterproductive trying to do that. So what's the point in doing it? You won't succeed that way. You know, that's all I say for anything like that. If you're trying to convince me to do something, don't try to, antagonize me. It's like a telemarketer calling your phone over and over again. You're going to eventually, you might cuss them out, hang up the phone. It's not effective, really. Let me see. Someone else says we must do the opposite of those controlled by evil. Talk to your God in private and make it so. Hey, it's whatever. I say everybody have their faith. I can't tell you how to pray to your God. I can't tell you how to live your life. That's your business. It's not mine. I respect everybody and their belief. And as far as anybody that's gay, I mean, I have no problem with anybody that's gay. I have gay family members. I have read the Bible. Yes, I have. But I don't like getting into the Bible talk because I've read it and I have met people that interpret it differently. And I don't like to disrespect. I don't like to interrupt anybody's path towards wherever they're trying to go. But anyway, what was I saying? Oh, I have gay people in my family that would shoot you to protect me, straight up. I have an uncle that is a drag queen, dead serious, not playing. Been around since I've been a little boy, and that's kind of a deep story, and I don't want to get into it, but I'm telling you right now, like if somebody came to me trying to attack me, my uncle was kind of like up there in age, like in mid-60s, but he would stomp you down, get that crunchy strength. Just because he get him and he's weak, he will beat you straight down to protect me. That's how he's always been. He gay? What am I going to do? My uncle, who's always been nice to me, always been good to me, always protecting me, I'm going to say, you know what? I hate you now because you're gay. No, I'm not gay. I'm not going to participate in his lifestyle. But guess what? I can still respect my uncle. I can still love my uncle, regardless of what he does, as long as it's not illegal, as long as it ain't hurting nobody. Who am I to judge him? But it is what it is. The phone calls are not on yet. We'll get to that in a moment. And one thing I can say this. People talk all this stuff online about how they're going to not allow gays in the movement, how they're going to, not condone homosexuality. It's not about condoning it. All you're going to do is just, respect their right to do what they do. I'm not in it. That's not my lifestyle. I'm not with it. But if you want to do it, what am I going to do? What am I going to do to stop it? Like, seriously, put him in Sharia law. Like I said, hey, go to Afghanistan. They got a cure for that. Tall building, you get dumped off. If you want to go down the Islamic route, then, I mean, if you're going to do that, let's do that. Let's not play around and act like, you just want to use words. Do some action. If ain't going to be no action, then what are we talking about? Might as well be quiet. It's stupid. It is what it is. Everybody's a sinner, and I'm not going to judge. Exactly, Angela. 100%. Now, I'm going to tell you about this, though. The incident at Turning Point has not caused the rift because it's just like a trending topic. It'll go away in a very short period of time. By this time next week, it'll be gone. It's popular right now. It's been all kind of little things that happen. Different people say certain things in the community. Omarosa, I heard Omarosa was going to destroy the black support for Donald Trump after she was in the White House and was Donald Trump's friend. Whoop-de-whoop. I heard that was the case, but then after she left, it was gone because right now we live in an internet age where the hot news story is hot for 72 hours and then it vanishes. It's just like the Snapchats and the Instagrams and your story and whatnot. The picture is there for a while. People like it, they share it, and then it's gone. You forget about it like it never happened. That's what's happening right now. And to get back to my point I was making earlier, people are online and they can say all these things about how they don't want to have gay people near them and that's that and the third. But then when they get to real life and it really comes down to it, you won't say nothing. You won't do anything. Nothing will happen. You'll just feel the same way you feel maybe online, but in a situation where Charlie Kirk was in, he's at a meet and greet. I was at Politicon. I saw them meet and greets. Matter of fact, I was in the line for some meet and greets. And what you do is you stand in line for a short period of time, a long period of time, depending upon the person, how popular they are. You stand in a line to meet the person, take a picture, and you in and out 2 seconds. That's pretty much how it is. You can shake their hand, say hello, take a picture. I'm your biggest fan. Whoop-de-whoop. Move on to the next person. That's how it goes. So you got this drag queen, Lady Maga, in the line, and it's his turn. He goes to Charlie, they take a picture. That's it. If you were in Charlie's shoes, what you gonna say? Get out the line. Now, you done messed up the whole situation. Charlie Kirk is the head of Turning Point USA. See, people don't think. You the head of Turning Point USA. What's going to happen? Like I said earlier, the left own what? They own the media. They own academia, social media, all of that. They own everything. The instant reaction is going to be Charlie Kirk, anti-gay, homophobe, refuses pictures with fan because they're gay and they had on a drag outfit. He's a Trump supporter. Is that and the third? Charlie's on TV a lot. That's gonna stop unless he answers those questions. If he go on Fox News or anywhere else, they're gonna say, well, there was an incident that happened about you not taking a picture with somebody because they're gay. How you feel about that, Charlie? Now he's got to answer. If he does not want to answer, he can't go on TV anymore. That's going to diminish his ability to get his name out there. Also, the company name out there. You got thousands of schools that are up under Turning Point as far as having chapters, people that are employed by the organization, people that are helped by the organization. The Black Leadership Summit, 500 black kids went to the White House. Would it even be there if not for Charlie Kirk doing what he does? And you want to sabotage that for what? People online that wouldn't even do that same thing if they were in his shoes? Why? It makes no sense. But hey, if Charlie Kirk should just abandon his whole company and abandon his own principles, he's not a homophobe or nothing like that. Why would he do that? It doesn't make any sense. That's not him. That's not what he does. And if he were to go against himself to please some people online that he does not know, that wouldn't do it if they were in his shoes. All they're going to do is just make himself be in a bad situation for no reason. But hey, that's just kind of how it goes. It is what it is. Calzone says ABL is cooning for Turning Point. Low IQ comment. Anytime somebody says cooning or whatever, let's talk about some real things, sir. Let's talk about real things. Like I said, when you come to real life and get away from the keyboard, the terms you're using don't even really happen. Like I've said before, I like going to these events because you meet people in life And the way you talk to each other is different than online, because you can see a real human being right here. And the differences you have online are able to be magnified because it's easy just to look on their profile and pick out certain words and certain things they're saying and parse their words and say, okay, I hate him because of this. But once you get eye to eye, man to man, it ain't like that. These words aren't going to be said to me in real life. I've been called coon 1 million times online. How about in real life? Anybody want to guess? Anybody want to guess? A big fat 0, because people don't do that in real life. That's the truth. Jonestown Autopsy says, quick butt dancing for Charlie. Again, these words don't get told in real life. It is what it is. There you go, Z Jored. People are envious of Charlie Kirk's success. That's right. And me, I'm a person, when I see success, I admire it. Just like, hey, how can I get to where Charlie is? How can I get to where Brandon is? How can I get to where Candace is? How can I get to where they are and accomplish what they've accomplished? How can I replicate that rather than being envious, which turns to hate and trying to sabotage them? You're trying to get all in the pictures, all in the events, all this, that, and the third. For what, though? Because you want to hate? Don't do that. How about you go to the events and observe what's happening and see what you can do to duplicate it. Start your own movement and then see how far you can go. It's not really that hard. Either become part of the movement or start your own. Don't try to go over there and sabotage theirs. What's that going to do? Nothing. Make you appear to be a hater that nobody can really get behind. That's not a leader. A leader is not a hater. A leader would not go and attack other people because they think differently. That's what the left does, and I left the left because of stuff like that. Being the person that came from the left, I can identify leftist tactics when I see them, attacking people, trolling people, name calling. That's what the left does. That's what I did when I was on the left. So I'm not going to do that now, 35 years old, regressing back to my early 20s when I was young and dumb. For what? Why? It is what it is. But hey, people talk about, these purity tests, all this religiosity. Ain't nobody really about that life. Are you going to be a virgin till you get married? Like Ben Shapiro, he's really about that religious life. Are you really about that? And he does not judge anybody. He's not going around here saying, oh, you're not really Jewish, you're not really Christian. He does his own thing. He observes his faith, and that's it. He's not trying to be on this purity test thing, which is not even, people that do the purity test can't pass it themselves. But it's easy to do it online, right? Where you got nobody trying to actually dig into your past and know anything about you. Jonestown Autopsy says Black Hebrew Israelites endorse Boothead Edge 2020. Oh man. Willman 757 said a gay guy decorated my house. I have 14 pillows on my couch. Oh man. Yeah. Can I do behind the scenes of ABL Live? I might do that. I might do like an Instagram Live or something like that. You know what I mean? Steve Samoa, we can't have no cussing in the chat, man. Come on. That's right here in the bottom of the ticker. Exactly, who that. Hating others doesn't work. It pushes others away from the truth. Exactly. 100%. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. All right. But that was on my chest. I wanted to get it off. Shout out to my man, Rob Smith. Good dude. Hey, I'm telling you, Johnny Law, that country strength. Hey, I've never had anybody say anything negative to me in life. Like no political people, no politicians, nobody that's from online that says Kun Uncle Tom sell out. I never have that happen to me. Because it's easy to do that online, but when somebody's right in front of your face, it ain't that same way. Because aside from the intimidation factor, because I'm not a small dude, aside from that, it's the human factor. We're people, and people are, they're imperfect, they have flaws. So you're not going to really want to attack somebody just based on, like you're not going to try to just hurl some hateful words at them or try to attack them like you do online. When you online, you have that shield of anonymity. You have that shield of protection. I can't touch you from right here. All you can do is watch me, and you can talk through the chat or when you call me on the phone or on Skype, but you can't actually touch me. So when you say things, you can't, there can be no immediate reaction in a physical way. You know what I mean? So it is with it. Never, Steve Samoa, ever. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate it. Pro censorship, never. In my video about the whole situation with Turning Point, I said that the guy that was, behind the trolling shouldn't get censored. I disagree with what he says. That don't mean I think he should stop saying it. It's the same thing they were doing with some of these political ads. Zuckerberg, I defended Zuckerberg because he made a very good point. I forget who that was. It might have been AOC or somebody who was saying, well, shouldn't you be fact checking some of these political ads because they have misleading statements about the Green New Deal, this, that, and the third? Well, he's like, look, I'm not in the business of trying to fact check to the extreme. He did say that he would fact check some things, like if you had straight wrong information that was meant to hurt somebody, like saying that the voting day was one day, but it was really the other day, to try and just hem somebody up. Stuff like that would get taken down, and that makes sense. You can't just lie and say that the voting day is one day. That's voter suppression. But a thing that's in a Trump ad about AOC, a hit piece or a slam article, he's not going to remove that, because at the end of the day, people should be able to see what people think and make their own mind up from there. So I'm not going to censor somebody because I want to see what everybody thinks. I don't want to get a watered down version of what they think. I want to get their full thought process so I know who I'm dealing with. So you can say things I don't like. That don't mean that I'm going to be in favor of censoring you. If somebody says they're in favor of that, I disagree with that. It's simple. Now, as far as somebody being kicked out of an event, that's a different story. The dude was in an event, he got kicked out. He did some things prior to that at the event that got him kicked out. I mean, that's their event. They got the right to do that. They got the right to accept or reject whoever they want. Now, if you say they can't do that and they got to accept everybody, then where's their rights at? Rights are a two-way street. You can't say you have all the rights you want, but they don't have all the rights they want. It's got to be a two-way street. They can have rights, so can you. As simple as that. Let me see. What else we got? Alrighty. All right, let me see. I'm reading some of the chat here. Thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate it. Full-blooded American Mutt says, I watch a transgender conservative. Exactly. I remember when Milo Yiannopoulos was the wave, and Blair White too. And I didn't hear all this purity test and you can't be for LGBT. I didn't hear that back then. I did not hear that back then. But now all of a sudden that you got Turning Point involved, it's an issue. It's weird how that works. But I digress. I'm not even really going to get too much into that. Thank you, Jeff. One thing about me is that I lead by what I think, how I feel, and what I know to be fact. That's it. I don't lead by what others say. If I think a thing makes sense, then it makes sense. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's just how I rock. But not everybody's the same way. Some people are looking for an individual to model themselves after. A lot of young people, they're trying to find themselves. I went through that too, trying to find myself when I was young. But I'm not that way anymore. I'm an adult. I found myself. I know who I am, and I just operate the same way. People like it or people don't. I hope everybody likes it, but if some people don't like it, that's okay. That's fine. That's just life. Everybody's not going to like you. You got to accept that. Let me see. Alrighty. Let me see here. I'm reading some of the chat. Thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you. We got 589 live in the chat, and you guys are doing great tonight. I'm with you. Alrighty. Get this video shared out, liked out, all that good stuff. I'm gonna get to the calls in a moment. So y'all just hang tight. Thank you to Drew Hodgson for the donation. I definitely appreciate you. 100%. Let me see. Did I get everybody? I think I did. Hold on, I got one right here. Shout out to Hollow 502 who says, keep up the hard work. Happy Saturday, man. Hey, thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate it. All right, let's get to the calls. I'm gonna go ahead and get her rocking and rolling. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. And let's go ahead and get her rocking. All right, let me get my Skype together because you know how Skype likes to do. It likes to just do whatever it wants at times. But we'll get to it. I cannot call out, so if you're saying call me, I cannot do it. This is the only call in number, so I cannot call out. 480, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name's Bob.
All right, Bob, what's happening?
Yeah, I wanted to talk to you about some stuff. Charlie Kirk in particular.
All right, go for it.
So, you're a Christian, right?
No.
You're not Christian?
No.
Okay. Are you atheist?
No.
Agnostic? What are you?
I guess if you had to label me, I would say agnostic, but I prefer not to have labels on me like that.
No, I get that. So, I mean, you're conservative, though, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what do you think about Charlie Kirk pushing the whole trans, gay, all that stuff towards the right when that's totally a leftist issue? What do you think about that?
Well, I'm not really sure what you mean. How was he pushing it?
How is he pushing it?
Yes.
He's saying, yeah, everything's fine. Yeah, just be gay, be trans, be whatever, just everyone get along as long as we get along with Israel. So, I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, I'm not understanding how that's pushing it. He's just saying that everybody get along. I'm not trying to attack you because of your sexual preference. That's your business. We don't live in the Middle East. We don't have Sharia law where you get beat to death, stoned to death, thrown from buildings for being gay. So I don't understand. That's just kind of a basic. Oh, wait, sir, wait. Let's not interrupt, sir. Now, that's not pushing it. That's just saying, hey, let's all get along, and everything's all good. So I don't understand how that's pushing it. That's just saying, let's get along.
Yeah, but the same thing at the same time. It's where it's instead of America first, it's Israel.
So are we changing the subject now?
No, I'm not changing the subject. I'm saying
because first, hold on. First it was, sir, look, my show, I could talk when I want. So at first it was, he was pushing the LGBT trans agenda onto conservatives. Now we're talking about Israel. So which one are you going to talk about? Let's talk about one thing at a time.
Both. Because
sir, see, what I said was, let's talk about one thing at a time.
But I want to tie it together.
But let's talk about one thing at a time, sir. I mean, listen. I understand, I want you to be able to have a voice here, but you got to adhere to the rules of the show. It's simple. Let's talk about one thing at a time.
Okay.
So let's get back to the whole LGBT thing. Or are we done with that? Is that over?
No, it's okay. LGBT, whatever, blah, 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 XYZ, whatever, trans, throwing dollars at kids that are stripping. That's degenerate, but, Charlie Kirk's down with that.
No, he's not. He's not. Wait a minute. We got to be factual now because he's come out against that. And nobody that is in Turning Point is for that. Rob Smith has come out vocally against the whole trans kids thing. He said that the trans part of LGBT are crazy. They're leftists. They're lunatics. And they don't really, they're the ones messing it up for people like him. They're just regular gay people that don't want to get involved with hurting children. So you got to get your facts right.
No, I totally get that. I mean, if you want to, I don't think kids should ever be subjected to that.
And they think the same thing. So you agree with Charlie Kirk and Rob Smith on that. So I don't see the problem.
Well, I don't agree with Charlie Kirk on a lot of things. I mean,
but on that you do, correct?
Charlie Kirk? Are you kidding me?
No. Listen to me now. On that particular, sir, listen. On that particular issue, you agree with Charlie Kirk and Rob Smith, correct?
That kids shouldn't be sexualized? Yeah, I agree on that.
All right, then. So what's the problem?
Ballpark. Wow, they're so great because we agree on that simple issue.
No. I didn't say that. I'm not saying. All I'm saying is that on that issue, you agree. You don't have to love somebody or even like them to agree on one issue. I mean, Barack Obama is a guy that I don't like at all, but I can find one thing I agree with him on, and that can be it. I mean, if Barack Obama said, hey, it's 12 o'clock and it's 12 o'clock, I'm not going to say, oh, I don't agree because it's Barack Obama. I mean,
no.
We can move on to the next thing, though.
No. I get that. Like, you and me, I've been watching you for 12 months. I agree with you on a lot of stuff. And my whole thing is,
yeah.
when Charlie Kirk is defending sending $3.8 billion to Israel while our citizens are suffering and not having health care, that's where I have a problem. I don't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with him. It's just where he pivots. That's all.
Okay, so how much would healthcare cost to provide for Americans that we don't have right now?
Well, $3.8 billion.
The question was, how much would it cost?
How can I have that answer?
So if you don't know how much it's going to cost,
if
you don't know how much it's going to cost, then what's the problem? Why would you cry about the money that's being sent to Israel if you don't know how much it's going to cost?
Why are we sending money to Israel, though? If we're
I don't know.
First, if we're people that want to take care of our citizens, why are we sending out foreign aid to Israel?
Well, we give aid to all countries. We give foreign aid to a lot of different countries, including Israel.
Yeah, and we shouldn't. We should focus on our people first.
Why focus on Israel and not the other countries, including China, that we give foreign aid to?
I'll go to any of them, man. Why are we sending money to anybody?
Okay, but the question I had to you was, why focus on Israel when we send aid to basically every country on planet Earth, including China? Why focus on Israel? What's the problem?
Well, Charlie Kirk seems to care about Israel a lot more than the other countries we send aid to. But my whole point isn't that it's Israel. I don't really care about Israel. I'm not one of those people that.
So why'd you bring it up then?
Because that's where we're sending most of our aid. That's where we are sending most of our. Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, the whole thing in the Middle East, that has nothing to do with Israel. That has nothing to do with it, right?
I didn't say it didn't. You said that we sent most of our aid to Israel. I just said it was false.
We send aid to Israel. We send it to other countries as well.
Listen, you got to listen. We send aid to Israel, but you said we send most of our aid to Israel. So which one is it?
Oh, don't straw man me, man. We send money to Israel.
Sir, I mean, am I lying to you? Did you say that?
I did say that, but don't.
Okay, so if you said it, so wait a minute. It's not a straw man. You said it. I'm just trying to figure out if you meant that or you want to say something else.
No, I do want to say something else.
Okay, so you just want to change what you said. To okay, that's fine. You could change what you said. You can just you can retract your statement and say something else.
Yeah, I can retract my statement. Okay, we don't send most of our aid to Israel because that's the most. Oh my God, I said most.
Okay.
No, but we're sending aid to countries that we don't need to send aid to. Why don't we focus on our own people? That's the whole thing that I'm wondering about. Charlie Kirk, he's America first. Oh my God, turning point. Oh my God, gay black soldier. Oh my God, but what are we doing? We're not helping our own people. That's my whole thing.
I mean, I think the argument here is kind of weak because you're saying why would you mention?
Why is it weak?
Why would you mention gay black when you're talking about America first? Why would you even say that? What was the point in saying that?
Because he dragged out what was it, Rod Smith on Turning Point USA on the stage.
But why is that? Why is the fact that he's gay and black have anything to do with anything? Why did you mention that?
Because he's deflecting criticism. He had him on stage for that very reason. I have a black gay conservative that served in the military. If you send me a question that's critical of anything, we'll deflect it.
Hold on. Is that what he said, or is that how you feel?
That's what he. Are you kidding me, dude?
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking you a question. Sir, look, you can't do that on my show. You can't be trying to shush me on my show because the thing is I can just mute you right now. If you're talking right now, nobody can hear you. You can't just be like, you can't do that. So, like I said, let's adhere to the rules of the show and we can just be civil, everything will be good. Okay? So there was no point in saying that. If you want to talk about foreign aid and stuff like that, there was some reason to say, or he brought out his gay black friend. Rob is part of Turning Point, you would say. Other people have been to these culture war events. You've had Rand Paul on stage with Charlie Kirk. You've had Brandon Tatum on stage with Charlie Kirk. A lot of people have been on stage with Charlie Kirk answering questions.
Right.
It just so happened that Rob was at this particular event. You're trying to make it seem like, this is my gay black friend. Rob Smith is a really smart guy, good guy. You're trying to reduce him to just being black and gay for no reason because you said it at a time where there was no point in even saying that. Talking about Israel, then you bring up black. Then you talking about Israel and foreign aid, and then you just at the same time bring up black and gay. For what?
No, that's a straw man though.
That's what you said. You did it.
I know that, Anthony. I let you talk. Let me talk.
I can do what I want on my show. Remember that.
No, are you?
So look. You gotta be respectful. You can't be trying to just cut me off. Just don't do that. Because when I talk, you got to stop. That's just the rules of the show. It is what it is. Nothing against you, nothing personal, not trying to be mean, but it's just how the show is. So go ahead.
I get that, but can I respond?
Go for it.
Okay. So I wasn't reducing it to a gay black man that served in the military. I'm saying that Charlie Kirk brought him up there for those very reasons.
That's your opinion.
There were going to be very no, Anthony.
That's your opinion.
There were going to be very tough questions that were going to be coming up towards him, and
that's your opinion.
The best way to. Yeah, it's my opinion.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I talk my opinion? Are we not free speech on the right wing or no?
Hey, I can talk and you can too.
Yeah, exactly. Freedom of ideas, brother. But
all right,
no,
so
I don't.
We kind of getting long on time, so wrap it up right quick.
Yeah, real quick. Yeah, do you have a question for me or no?
No, just wrap it up. Final statement, because we kind of getting long on time.
Okay, Charlie Kirk is a fraud. Goodbye.
Oh man, that's that 300 IQ call right there. He's a fraud. Bye. Shout out to my man. Yeah, he just called him a token, like, for no reason. It's like, Rob, smart guy, excellent speaker. You got to understand, when you go into these speaking events, you got to be quick on your feet. You got to have a nice look to you. You got to know how to talk. You got to be intelligent. You got to have experience. Rob fits all those categories. You just want to reduce him to gay black. You said it at a time, but there was no point in even saying that. For what, though? Why? Let me get to my next call. All right, call you on the line, 737. Who am I speaking to?
This is Luciano from Texas. Then I expect to get into this call as usual because it's early. I usually don't call into like the not 2 hour mark. Anyways, so what's cracking?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Sure, I want to talk about something interesting. So Obama, and I don't know if this was a script or not, but Obama apparently called out cancel culture. What are your thoughts? And do you think he's just doing this for the big bucks again?
Obama is an interesting person. That's what I was saying to the last caller. I don't like Barack Obama. I'm not a fan of his policies. But I can find some things I agree with him on. I agree with him on the whole cancel culture thing. But see, the problem with that is it's hard for me to hear him say that, although it was 100% true, and totally believe it, because right around that same time, it might have been at the same event, honestly, Michelle Obama was talking about white flight, all this, that, and the third, which is not even really, it's kind of weird. Yes, what he said was 100% accurate, but I don't think that he'll be the kind of guy that will follow up on it and really, go out there and say that repeatedly and have a lot of his talks feature that statement.
Mm-hmm. And this is the biggest setup I've ever seen. Michelle Obama talking about white flight, Obama talking about cancel culture. And keep in mind, he made a similar statement like 4 years ago as well in a university. I think it was a campus in Indiana. He was talking about how political correctness is kind of like regressive, towards intellectuality, something like that. He said, "Oh, well, if I'm gonna read a book about a black man, or if I can probably post the video later if you want." But yeah, he's an interesting man. He knows the talking points so well. I don't know what to say, man. Would you call this scripted or no?
What, Obama talking about what he says?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
cancel culture.
Yeah, of course. Like, I was reading the chat just now, and there was a good point that was made. He wants to keep the moderates, because I think what he may be realizing is that as the left goes all the way far to the left, Green New Deal, climate change, the world's going to end tomorrow if we don't give all the money to Al Gore and Greta Thunberg. He's seeing that happen. He's like, okay, I got to say something here, come out, jump out, and try to get people to come over to our side, because he knows that if you don't get the moderates, you're going to lose. So all this, leftist virtue signaling, cancel culture is going to bite him in the rear end, because when it's all said and done, they won't have any success doing that.
Yeah, and I think Obama is like a persona switcher. And he knows what he's doing. He's not dumb. He's like, I'll call him the liberal Jesse Lee Pearson, because he knows what he's saying. What he is saying, he's saying it with a clear context. He's not saying it, to provoke controversy. But he's trying to play the big game here. He's trying to be a technical thinker in various political situations, and I love that. Like, that's why he's such a great smooth talker.
That's right. 100% correct. I agree with you.
All right. And another, I'll make a quick comment about the white flight. It's not really related to that. But what's funny is you can't win with the left on this. Gentrification is racist. White flight is racist. moving in, taking all the resources of minorities. You're enriching. You're apparently not enriching their communities. You're actually destroying their communities, right? Because you're putting all these white-owned businesses, blah blah blah, right? I mean, God forbid we hope minorities actually get some communal ownership going, right?
Right, exactly. I mean, that's my thing, because it's like it's weird. I mean, I don't understand how you can cry for both things. They leave, that's bad. They come back, that's bad. If they stay, they don't leave or go, that's still bad, because then they get attacked. So it's just strange. It's like, look, how about everybody just stop with this relying upon the government, relying upon other people, and just kind of embrace what it means to be an American, a sense of individualism, and, chart your own path. That's what I have done, and that's what I implore anybody else to do.
Right. And also, on the California fires, all I got to say is that's a great example of how the left is good at virtue signaling environmentalism but never taking action. It's, again, a profit maker. The way I see environmentalism, if you want to solve it, it's got to be done individually. You can't have corporations nor the government be dependent upon them, because now they're trying to blame like you said, they're trying to blame climate change for that, but no, it's not climate change. The real threat is the government, the corporations, and the elites just, taking so much property and then, using it inappropriately for their advantage whenever they can. You see the pattern, right?
Yes, I do. Absolutely.
The pattern, the pattern of what I call the pattern of exploitation. Take up the resources, have all these big corporations use that land, and then claim it's the fault of the people. There we go. That's the cycle. And last time I checked, 95% of all these corporations are like leftist owned. Even if you don't believe in climate change, right? I don't care personally. You can at least agree that the left is playing the pookie here, right? They're the ones provoking. Last time I checked, conservatives live in rural areas, which barely have, and even if some rural areas are deforested, that's how the left wants to counter-argue it. I still see more wildlife and more green and probably more, unoccupied green space in rural areas than I do in urban areas. So who cares about the environment again?
Yeah.
Last time I checked.
That's a very good point, because you go to these big liberal areas like, I don't know, San Francisco, you can't have any plastic straws because my environment, but you got syringes everywhere that are given to the drug users for free. Also, human waste all on the ground, which ends up in the ocean. So, how dedicated to environmentalism and climate change are they really? It's a weird thing. Like you said, you go out to the rural areas, you got beautiful farmland, well kept, sprawling acres of trees, just beauty. You don't really see that in these big liberal cities. So it's interesting. That's a good point you made.
No, of course, that depends on what kind of rural area. We're talking like cross country, we're talking very open, because if it's very open, it could be also land used for oil fields, agriculture. It's just threatening to the environment. But at the end of the day, let's not act like the left. Even in cities where there's a whole lot of green space, that green space is later used again for construction projects. I don't know why these liberals are tripping so hard on them and failing to see the skin behind that. Like, if you really want to save the environment, go suburban. That's what I'm gonna say. Because you got parks that are actually reserved for the wildlife, and more anti-littering laws keep going into these suburban parks. So it's the best of both worlds.
There it is, man. Well, I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
Of course, anytime. But I'm gonna say I'm looking to join the military. Perhaps I did a military meeting this Wednesday, so another veteran in the making.
Hey, man, I'm proud of you. I'm not a veteran. I've never been in the military, but hey, man, go out there, do it well, and I'm proud, man. Sounds good.
All right. Appreciate the call.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to my man going to the military. Hey, that's why I like serving the country. I'm all with it, 100%. Let me get to my next call here. 603 on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, this is Max.
All righty, Max. What's happening?
Hey, just watching your show. I was actually trying to punch in the little dollar sign and try to send $5 into your show.
All right. Hey, man, I appreciate that.
So I also did share your show on urban libertarians. I wanted to make a point on the show if I can.
Go for it.
So there are 14 states that never go Republican, northeastern, West Coast states, and there are about 170 House districts that never go Republican. And then on top of that, there's about 1,000 legislative districts around the country. And I think that in my opinion, purpose of the Libertarian Party is just to focus in on those states. But I think if conservative voters who happen to live in places like Chicago, New York City, Boston, live in college towns, if they'll vote Libertarian in those races, then we can kind of build up the local infrastructure, run as a team, and put all our resources into that and flip some of those districts.
So is your objective to have the Libertarian Party win a national election?
I think that, I mean, right now we're doing so well in legislative races. In 2016, we had, 28 legislative races where we won more than 25% of the vote in three-way partisan legislative races. So that's mostly using tactical voting. In other words, like, let's say you're a conservative voter, but you live in a place that always goes Democrat all the time. Well, then if those voters vote Libertarian for those specific races, then we get the highest voter turnout, we get the highest percentages. So if you add, say, the Republican voters, the independent voters, and Libertarian voters, some of those areas then become winnable that would never be winnable by the Republicans.
Okay. I mean, I think it might be a little bit easier said than done. I mean, it's a solid plan. I like how you've been able to map it out, but how long do you think this would take to actually, work?
We've already been doing it in the down ticket races. In fact, like I say, it's been working in the legislative races pretty well. But you kind of have to run as a team. A lot of libertarians don't want to run as a team. There are some problems there, but I'm one of the libertarian presidential candidates. I'm also a state legislator, and I've been talking to different groups, and I'd say about 80% of libertarians are enthusiastic about the idea. It might actually get not just some libertarians elected to legislature in 2020, but maybe flip some of these entrenched Democrat House seats in the years after that, 2022, 2024.
I mean, I don't know. I think that it might take a little while. It might take a little while because people have been voting one way for a very long time, a long, long time. And it's hard to kind of get them out of that, especially you're talking about like non-national. If you're trying to get like local stuff, it's hard. And then it's even worse when you're talking about national because these people don't really vote except for when it comes to the president. And you got to have a very popular person. Like that's the main thing. It's a very popular person to try and become the president. And
well, but you have like let's say Germany, Britain, Canada. They all have kind of semi-liberty parties, and they're all kind of they don't win a lot of seats, but they win enough seats where they can kind of keep the Socialist Party out of majority.
I see.
So
the thing is, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I see what you're saying. You want to kind of edge out the far left from taking over. I get that part, but at the same time, you may split votes when it comes to the national election, which may cause the left to win in a national election, kind of like a Ross Perot effect.
Okay, but so just look at U.S. House races. There are 170 House races that always go Republican. There are only 90 swing voting races, and then there are 170 House races that always go Democrat. Mm-hmm. So those kind of, the pendulum goes back and forth Republican, Democrat. And every recession since the 1930s has started under a Democrat congressional majority. So really what we're trying to do is kind of keep the Democrats from getting the majority. So if the Libertarian Party just focuses, let's say, on the 170 entrenched House seats, then you only have to flip like a handful of those to keep Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats from winning the House and, doing their regular wrecking the economy, reckless spending, democratic socialism, anti-business, all the stuff that they do. Wrecking your gun rights.
I understand. I see. I mean, it does make sense from that point of view. I'm just concerned about the national for like, you know, House seats and stuff like that. It does make sense.
So House seats, there's only 90 swing voting districts. If the Libertarian Party kind of like avoided the 90 swing voting districts, then the Republicans would pick up, you know, a handful, 10, 20 more. And then doing the same thing in the 170 entrenched Democrat districts, you flip a few of those, 20, 30 seats. The Libertarian Party only raises enough money every year to be, you know, contest about 15 or 20 of those seats.
Okay. I see.
So, but I mean, you could imagine, you know, 20 more Republicans and let's say 20 or 30 Libertarians in the House, you wouldn't have Nancy Pelosi as Speaker right now.
Well, yeah, I understand.
So, I mean, it's the same thing as the FDP does in Germany or the Lib Dems in Britain. It's kind of like, you could see it as like a backup party. You get an area where it's so socially liberal, there's no way you're going to get a Republican elected. But if the Libertarian Party focuses just on those specific races, you could flip quite a few races from Democrat to Libertarian. You might, you know, as long as we work together, instead of kind of fighting amongst each other, we could actually get away from Democrat majorities and not have to worry about these reckless budget deficits.
Well, hey man, that's a very good point you made. I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
All right, and I'll try and donate money to your show.
Oh, thank you for that, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, now take care. All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you to the super chatters. You guys have been great tonight. And you guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Shout out to who else we have here. Thank you to Jay Evans, who says white flight. As soon as I get my check, I was gone, Uncle Leroy. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Filthy Phil, who says protect America, support the president of the United States is all that should be asked. Leave all the divisiveness to the left. This is a step back. We're better than that. Hey, I'm right there with you, man. 100%. I'm all about unifying and beating the left. You know, I don't have to agree with you. I don't have to like you, but let's work together for the greater good. You know, I've been doing that a long time. I remember back in the day, short story, I ain't gonna bore you. But when I was doing my ad agency thing, when I first started before the ad agency, I was just like doing a little freelance work. And it was this guy I worked with all the time, made a lot of money together. But from day one, from the very first day I met him, hated him. I never did like him, but guess what? We got plenty of money together. So I put all that aside and we got money and I was able to help myself. He was able to help himself. And it's all good. That's just how it is sometimes. But thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Faith, ! Who says just showing love with the heart emoji. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Psalm 91, who says, Mr. Logan, you've always been so respectful and wise in your communication with your callers. No matter what their views, you seem triggered when the caller asks about your beliefs. Perhaps you're having a bad day. Nah, it's all good. But I know I may get a few calls like that, so I'm just setting the tone for future calls that are similar in nature to that. So, but I thank you for your concern and your donation. I definitely appreciate you. Let me get back to the next call. The number to call is 434-658-1220. And let me get on to it. All right. All right, caller. Oh, my man, this is it's Anthony. What's going on?
Yes, sir. I mean, hello, Anthony. trying to reminisce of that old caller that keeps on calling. I'm back. I just came back yesterday from Hong Kong, and as you can see, my flag. I'm back here in Houston.
Yeah, man, nice flag behind you. Like it?
Thank you. I just want to point out some things, Mr. Logan, because earlier I hear some callers how they were being critical of Charlie Kirk, how they point out that Rob Smith is gay and black. I think that these, conservatives, there's some that are very far right, because I know Trump supporters don't like to really call out conservatives as much as they do the left, but do you think some of them are so kind of biased, that just because some people that are now seeing the light don't have the lifestyle that they do, that they just had to kind of marginalize them? I mean, have you noticed that, ABL?
Well, that's not a major view. Like, these people that are doing that are very small in number. Like, when I'm out here in the world, I don't really run into that. It's like a little collective of people that mostly exist online that are doing that. And they sometimes go into different events and ask questions. They seem like they're bigger number than they are. They're not that big. So to answer the question, I feel like some people just have their beliefs and they're small in number. It's kind of like just like the far left. The far left appears to be the majority. They appear to be everywhere. But
Yes.
once you go out here and talk to people, it's not like that. When I was in Politicon, I spoke to quite a few leftists, and they were just regular people. They weren't, screeching and hollering like you might see someone the clips I do where you got the lady on the ground screeching and throwing stuff. That's not the average person. That's just the far leftist loonies that get too much airtime.
True. Yeah. Because, I've noticed that both far and right, they're kind of closing the gaps on their differences. They both, kind of bias. You notice that over your years of politics that both sides are kind of, well, I'd say both extremes are kind of closing the gap.
Yeah, I've said that before. I've said that politics, like politics is kind of like a circle, and the circle is like you have the center. Like, okay, let's say a circle. At the bottom of the circle, right in the center, you have the center, center left, center right. It's not that much of a difference between the center left and the center right. It's small differences between the center left and center right. But once you go to the top of the circle, you have the far left and the far right, and they're very similar to each other. Once you really get down to it, there's differences, yes, but they're very similar because they're both far. Just like the center is very similar because they're both center.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Anyway, I just call in for a little bit, and also I just kind of want to proudly make a not proclamation, but kindly brag that I was correct on my prediction. Earlier while I was in Hong Kong, I was predicting that BETO, that he would drop out of the race by the time I come back, and which was yesterday. when I arrived at the airport, I looked at my phone and it says BETO drop out of the race. I'm like, wow.
Right on the time. It's like as soon as I dropped down, he's dropped out. That's crazy. That is hilarious.
It is. Yeah. But anyway, ABL, thank you for taking my call, and I hope you have a good night and a good show.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to my man. Hey, he called in last time from Hong Kong. He was over there for quite a while, so shout out to him. Good money. Yeah, I'm all about. I consider myself to be kind of a center right kind of guy, but depending upon who you talk to, I could be different parts. But I consider myself to be kind of center right. I'm not really too far, but I'm just a regular person that has common sense points of view. That's how I see myself, but because of how I look, how I sound, and the nature of the country we live in, where you got the media controlling everything, and that's considered to be kind of far left, I'm considered kind of far right because the media says I am, or they create that environment in which I'm labeled as that. It is what it is. But let me get to my next call. Mike from Queens, what's happening?
Hey, what's up, Anthony? How you doing?
Everything's good, man. What's going on?
Not much. Hey, I wasn't aware that that Cuomo was shooting his mouth off about climate change, about upstate New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really haven't heard anything much of here on the local news, on any of the local stations they have, but I don't know. I guess people are getting washed away up there.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. I saw your man Andrew Cuomo get on TV and talk about it, and he said that, we never had hurricanes before, we never had tornadoes. He said that, yes. He said on TV, live, MSNBC, we never had. I'm like, never had hurricanes. It's like, come on, man. Like, what are you talking about? He's saying that climate change is the reason why we're having these floods and stuff now.
We all know climate change is just junk science, and the hurricanes have been on this planet for well over 1,000 years. I mean, they just didn't happen overnight.
Right. I mean, really, because at the end of the day, it's just like a big rainstorm. I mean, it rains all the time. This is a natural phenomenon that happens on Earth. It's not a new thing.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw my new name for Bernie Sanders is Bypass Bernie.
Wow. Too soon?
Yeah. Bypass Bernie. I don't know if you saw the picture that was circulating with him and Rashida Tlaib. But they're in some kind of a supermarket or a store, and there's empty shelves behind them. That's like the perfect caption.
Oh, it's perfect. It's like, hey, vote for me. This is going to be your future. Empty shelves. Socialism.
Yeah, I'm going to touch the 1% and the 2% and the 3%. Yeah, okay. What else is there? I think this stuff with it seems like there's just this thing with people fighting in the right now. I think it's going to pass. I mean, this happened. This happened. This has happened with the left over the last year with the with the far leftists really contesting the DNC and all of the neocon Democrats or neoliberals. The same thing is happening. Obviously, you're not going to agree with everybody. I mean, obviously, you're not going to agree with Charlie Kirk on everything, and you're not going to agree with Nick Fuentes or some of these other personalities. But I mean, I think there's positive on both sides, and you just got to come to an understanding. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree. It's going on right now. Like, it's kind of a hot topic, but I think by this time next week, it won't be talked about anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I think Paul Joseph Watson actually put out a video on Twitter where he was talking about it. Looked like he was in some Caribbean island, and he made some valid point. I would say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you saw that video. He said he was going to post something up on his YouTube channel within the next week or whatever. But I guess he's away on business or something.
Yeah, I mean, I think I saw some of that, but I can't really remember what he said. I mean, my thing is, we got to get beyond some of the petty stuff. I feel like it's kind of like petty differences. I mean, I never heard anybody say that you can't be a gay conservative. It's like, man, come on. Like, we got bigger fish to fry. I don't care what somebody does in their bedroom. We trying to get the president in there. We trying to get Supreme Court justices. We trying to get the wall secure. Why be worried about what somebody does in their bedroom? That's, to me, I never really heard that. So I think, like I said, it'll pass. It's something that happened. It's hot, but it'll be done in a few days.
What do you call it? Jimmy J actually put a video up of you and him debating some liberal lawyer at Politicon last week. And
yeah.
I didn't get a chance to watch the video, so I just we don't need to talk about that. I'll go back and check it out. There's just a local story up here in the New York papers. There's been a big epidemic of fare evasion on the subways and buses up here. So the NYPD's been cracking down on it, and it was a protest yesterday against the police because the Metropolitan Transportation Authority asked them to crack down on fare evasion. But here again, they say, "Oh, it's an attack on minorities, this and that." But the police are doing their job. They're being asked by the authorities to, crack down on people not paying because they're losing revenue. And I mean, I don't understand. They want to protest the police. What do you accomplish by protesting the police?
Yeah, I saw that. I didn't understand what was going on. It's like, this makes no sense. I mean, they trash the cop cars. Like, what is that really going to do? How is that going to solve any problem that you have? It's just mindless.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. And I'll just leave you off with this. I mean, and here I'm going to just reiterate this again. A lot of people don't. It just goes to show you how stupid people are in this country. They think impeachment means removal from office. You really think the Republicans in the Senate, which takes 67 of them, which is 67 senators, to sign off on it? That's not going to happen.
Right. It's not going to happen. I mean, because one thing people don't understand that are talking about impeachment and they're so excited, these votes are public. So if you're going to have 20 Republicans come out and say that they're in favor of impeachment, then they're pretty much done. Their careers are over with.
Yeah, and what's going to happen now, when you get members like Jim Jordan, Lee Zeldin, Mark Meadows, Matt Gaetz, that are on these committees, and when they start questioning the whistleblowers and all these people that have testified in secret in the Soviet-style witch hunt, like Steve Scalise said, when they get a chance to question these people, they're gonna look like fools. They're gonna rip them apart because you see how effective Jim Jordan is with the questioning, and he's one of the best on Capitol Hill.
Right, exactly.
And you know what? There's a quiet investigation that's been happening and that no one's talking about. Look at what Durham has been uncovering. He was appointed the prosecutor by Attorney General Barr to investigate all this nonsense with the Steele dossier and all these people like Strzok and Comey. They haven't really been talking about that, obviously, because it doesn't fit the narrative. Let me tell you something. if that's the same guy that convicted all of those members in the FBI that were involved with that corruption scandal in Boston with Whitey Bulger and all those people that were on the tape. Durham was the one who sent some of those agents to jail. What's his name? Connolly, who was at the centerpiece of that whole controversy. He was one of the top fish he fried. So no one's talking about that. I think I just, let everyone know about that. And on that note, let me get going, and I'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for taking it. Have a good night.
All right, now. All right. Thank you to my man Mike from Queens for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Let me see. Let me get to some calls here. Oh, the number to call is 434-658-1220. And thank y'all for being here. I most certainly appreciate it. Let's get to 702. You on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Mark.
Hey, everything's good, man. What's happening?
Nothing much. I heard your last caller. I agree that I really do like Jim Jordan's questions. I mean, it makes me laugh when somebody like George Snuffleupagus or Jake Tapper think they're going to push this guy around when he was like an all-American wrestler and one of the best in world history with his record,
Right.
Yeah. And then also, to blame even the layman, to blame climate change on Trump, it kind of is embarrassing because Trump's properties, they're so clean and pristine and nice, and then everybody's districts is full of feces in the street, excrement everywhere, big giant monster rats, and it's like and it just makes you look bad. And then when they say, there was none of these hurricanes until Trump and climate change came along, it's like, have you ever heard of the University of Miami? Do you know what their mascot is? It's the Hurricanes.
Exactly. It's like, man, come on. What are we talking about? Like, be for real. I mean, a hurricane really ain't nothing but a big rainstorm. You're right there on the East Coast, especially New York City. I mean, come on. Like, you're right there on the water. Of course, you've had hurricanes and nor'easters and whatnot before. This ain't the first time. Can't blame climate change or Donald Trump. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, before Trump and before climate change and before global warming, there was a movie called The Wizard of Oz. And the hurricane took Dorothy and Toto to a faraway land. So it's not like the Texas Twister and the Oklahoma, Hurricane Alley. These things have been going on for much longer than the concepts of this activism has been even spoken or written about,
That's right.
Yeah. And as for Beto going out, let me ask you, did you happen to see that mother from Newtown confront Beto on his gun grabbing?
I did not see that. Wow.
Yeah, the mother was pointing him out, and he's like, this is more about emasculation of men, and, I'm a mother here in Newtown, and you're a liar, Beto. Come on, let's get it on. She was very, very feisty. And I was wondering if that had anything to do with him dropping out or if he simply lost steam.
I mean, that right there might have been a nail in the coffin because it wasn't like his campaign was just doing so well. I mean, you're talking about a guy that wasn't really getting too much more than 1%, 2%. So, I mean, that right there might have just been a knockout punch. It said, okay, that's it. I'm out. I'm done.
Right. And as for Joe, I don't know, did you happen to see the footage of him talking to a blank screen because he thought that's where the camera was and they kept trying to turn him around?
I saw that. I was like, Joe, what? And, he was live on TV. His back is towards the crowd. Now, somebody said that, it was a crowd in front of him. But it's like, nah, like, okay, let's think for a moment. When you go out on stage, where you got to look. I mean, that's going to be the question. Where's the camera? Okay, it's right here. Boom, that's where I look. He was totally faced the opposite direction. I've never seen that before in my life. That was crazy. But hey, old man Joe, the mind ain't there. It's clear that he's not going to really be able to make it. So they should just intervene because at this point, it could be considered elder abuse. Get that man off stage. Let him go home and rest because he's not right.
Yeah. Whether it's Joe Biden or Hillary falling over or Ruth Bader Ginsburg, I always wonder, because Joe had his teeth falling out, he had his eye bloody. It makes me wonder if the Democrats are employing a necromancer to somehow make the undead come to life because these people are like, they got one foot in the grave and it's almost like they're just these zombie stalker candidates. But the bookies, they seem to think that Kamala is the dark horse, and that's where the money and the nominee would be if you are a betting person, if you would go to predict it and get shares. I don't know what your thoughts are that, because you have a very astute mind when it comes to this type of speculation. Do you have any opinion on that?
As far as Kamala being like a dark horse?
Yes. Do you think that she could possibly pull off the nomination? Do you have any hunch?
Nah, because she's too goofy. It's like, they put her. They were trying to put her out there in the front, like same thing with Cory Booker. Anytime it be some kind of random Senate hearing or something, they put her out there, get a little bit of airtime. They tried to groom her to, possibly become the nominee or be in the running as somebody that could get it, but she's just too goofy. She's like Elaine from Seinfeld. It's like, is that going to be your president? This little goofy lady sound like somebody's aunt that's halfway drunk, and then she has a spotty background with the prosecutor thing. You got a documentary out talking about, I was an innocent man. I was in jail for 6 years. I'm black. Kamala Harris was a prosecutor. I come from an underprivileged background. The project, she come from Canada, this, that, and the third. It's bad background. So it's like her. Nah, I think the nominee at this point is going to be Pocahontas, and you may have Hillary Clinton parachute in on her orthopedic body harness, and she may try to make a run.
Okay. Well, you have a knack for these things. You really do. So I'm all ears. And now, the culture war, I have to get into it a little bit. I like Charlie. You told me he ran up and down Camelback Mountain. That's Chad. That's Alpha. That's something I can't do. Also, I think this fight on the right, I think conflict creates a drama. I think it's exciting. I think it has a lot of energy. It's something that I like. And my question to you is, I saw that you called out the guy that, I saw that you called out Nick on Twitter. Would you debate him or Patrick Casey? Would you be willing to debate either one of those guys?
Probably not, because it's kind of toxic, honestly, for my channel.
Okay, fair enough. Also, some of the questions that they had, I thought, some of them were somewhat crude, but none of them were over the line. I thought, the one thing that they pointed out with the foreign aid money, when you have like 1 billion people represented by so many different countries, and the money is outspent by one tiny country, and then you're supposed to be lectured to on morality by people who say they're into equality and not into hierarchy. It just doesn't go together. Like, there's so many other countries that it could be dispersed to, but it's completely out of whack, and it makes one country come off very greedy and selfish and taking from like 1 billion other people. And that's kind of like something that was pointed out in question form that I had not really considered before.
Well, okay. I mean, if that's the case, then what's going to be the next step? Because they kept asking the question a lot, but it's like, what are you really going to do? There's a lot of foreign aid given to Israel, to Iraq, Afghanistan. We give aid to every country on earth almost, including China. I think the bigger problem is government spending, waste. I mean, the amount of money we give in aid pales in comparison to some of these things that the left are trying to come up with. What was it, like 42 trillion for healthcare for all? I mean, I think there's bigger fish to fry is what I'm trying to get at. Now, as far as Israel, I think that they are a key ally because of their positioning. If there was going to be any kind of conflicts in the Middle East, we're right there. If you want to be over there, I think that we should get out of the Middle East, but we're not totally yet. So that includes all the air bases we have over there, all the interest in the money and the oil, and also with the money and the oil. That's important because that will affect the actual bottom line at the gas tank. Saudi Arabia being the biggest one, that influences the price. We have our own oil reserves, but the global price is a different story. That's what you pay at the pump. So, I mean, I think for the sake of geopolitics, it makes sense for us to have that kind of relationship with Saudi, with Israel, with Iraq or whatever. Although I think eventually, one day, we should totally remove ourselves from these foreign countries, including military bases. And that's not only just Israel. We're talking about Japan, South Korea, Germany, etc.
Yeah, I'm nodding my head the entire time. Yeah, I hear you with the government spending and the waste and things like that. The thing is, though, I just, the more they talked at that event, I thought the event was exciting. It made me think. I liked Charlie and I liked his group, but all of a sudden, the way that everything was framed, it really did come off like all of a sudden you got this open borders guy who's into this kinky perversion stuff saying if you oppose my open borders and my kink, you're just a racist. And he sounded almost like Hillary Clinton. It's like you're just this racist homophobe and you're an anti-Semite. And I was like, okay, Hillary. And it just made me feel like we've already heard this before, and I actually dig Rob Smith from a charismatic point of view. He's a personality. I can see why he was up there, but to start saying something innocuous about Cardi B, it's almost like then there goes the credibility. We're not here to talk about rap. I thought this was culture war. And, to bar people from events and then threaten them with banning online. I mean, you can't get culture war in media. You can't even get it in the classroom. These conservative events are like the only places you're going to hear this kind of conflict. So I thought the event was mad cool. I'm looking forward to more, and I hope he continues to take Q&As, but I can understand where you're saying that, like, hey, I don't want the toxicity. But the thing is you know what? I'm talked out. But it's hard for me to get into because people want to maintain their clean, pristine brand. But then, the censorship, it makes people soft.
Well, I gotta say a couple of things. The thing about Nick Fuentes being kicked out of Politicon is not Charlie Kirk's event. So people are speculating that it was Charlie Kirk that did that, but nobody knows. What Nick Fuentes did was get into Turning Point's booth and take pictures with somebody else. I won't say their name, but they were in the booth taking pictures, so they kind of like just were somewhere where they shouldn't be. Like I wouldn't just get into a company's booth and take pictures and touch their stuff and all like that. You can't do that. So Politicon are the ones that kicked him out. Charlie was on stage. Charlie had nothing to do with it. Some say he did, but nobody has any evidence of that. So, I mean, if that was the case, that he kicked him out, then why have an event where the whole purpose is to ask, because they've done these culture war events and they've been asked tough questions before. That's the whole point. So why would you have an event called Culture War where the whole purpose is to get asked tough questions, but then avoid tough questions at an event that's not even yours and have the police intervene on your behalf? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay, well, I'll leave it at that because I can see. But I thought the event was exciting, and I really hope that he doesn't ban people. I would like if they get one question. If they can't frame their point in a tweet or in the form of a question, that's all they get. And I thought it was a very, very cool event, and I didn't necessarily agree with some of Charlie's answers. But whether it's Charlie or whether it's Ben Shapiro, that's fine. They can do what they want. It is a private thing. But when it gets to this private company doing whatever they want, is it any different than Jack from Twitter or Zuckerberg from Facebook? But man, you've always treated me like gold, and so has your people. Your people have always treated me great in the chat. So I'm gonna let you go and respect them. Take care.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye.
All right, shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. My man Mark. Yeah, but a couple things I wanted to say. Now, as far as what was I wanted to say? I already addressed the whole thing about Politicon. That's not his event. That's Politicon's event. So if you're doing things at Politicon that they say are not right, that's Politicon. That's not Charlie. If Charlie wanted to kick him out, then he wouldn't be having these events where all these guys got up and were trolling. Nobody got kicked out. Nobody got removed. All the questions were asked and answered. People didn't like the answers, maybe, but they got asked and answered. So, no, that's just not, it don't really add up. And as far as like perversion and kink, all Charlie is saying is, hey, this is my friend, he's gay, so what? You're not talking about any kind of sex or anything like that. I think Milo said something about sex acts, but people liked him when he was the guy. But I mean, I digress. I'm just saying, let's just be consistent. But let me get to the next call. Let's go to, hold on here. 609, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, it's Hotel Jesus.
Hotel Jesus, what's going on, man?
What up, brother? I'm calling into the show. How you feeling?
Everything's good. What's happening?
We live?
We're live on the air right now.
Yo, I just want to put my 2 cents in on this whole Team USA thing. You know, do you remember when they banned me?
Yeah, I remember that.
Why do you think they banned me?
Well, I heard from what I was told, you had some things that were anti-Semitic, and they didn't want to have that affiliate with their company, so that's why you got banned.
Okay, so when we think about Nick Fuentes, is he in a similar boat?
I mean, I don't really know him. I don't know what he said online as far as being anti-Semitic. If he had any kind of thing like you did, maybe he is, but I don't really know.
Well, the questions that came from those people that showed up at Charlie's event, the Coach War event, a lot of them had to do with Israel, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we're seeing is that there's some sort of connection between Charlie Kirk and Israel that people are concerned with. They believe that he has an Israel first policy as opposed to Nick Fuentes' America first policy. Where do you stand on all of this, ABL? Do you think that we should be giving as much aid to Israel? Do you think that Israel should come before America?
Well, I think that no country should come before America. I've not seen Charlie Kirk say that Israel should come before America. Have you seen that?
I'm asking you where you stand on this.
I mean, my answer to you, my answer. I mean, my answer was that I think that. Hold on. Let's one at a time. My answer to you was I don't think that Israel should come first, and I don't think that Charlie Kirk has said Israel should come first. Have you seen him say that?
Well, like what the dude said, he said we give more aid to Israel than all these foreign nations combined, and Charlie Kirk tap dance around. Now he has.
But hold on, but see, my question was, have you seen Charlie Kirk say that Israel should come first?
All right, well, if you ain't cut me off, you'd have heard me say we haven't heard him say it.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
But when people tap dance around questions, we have to at some point trust our own common sense. We can't always expect people to come out and tell us our motives, especially when they could be deceiving us. They're not going to do that. Now, Turning Point is very much so a Marxist, socialist, Menshevik organization.
Okay, why you say that?
With the inclusion of trans and gay people into the forefront of the movement, why isn't ABL standing next to Charlie Kirk?
I don't know.
As much as Rob Smith is, why haven't they given ABL the platform at Fox News as much as they've given it to Rob Smith? Have you ever been on Fox News?
No, but I've been asked to be on CNN before.
You've been rocking with TPUSA for a really long time. How come they haven't given you the platform? All this support you've given them, you're doing a live stream right now backing them, and they won't throw you a bone. Why they won't throw you a bone? Because they want to use identity politics via the gay black.
All right,
veteran.
I'm gonna answer your question. Now, I've not asked for anything. You know, I'm not looking to get a job or get thrown a bone or nothing. I don't want nothing. All I want to do is go to their events and talk to all the people. Like I was able to meet you, talk to you. That's what I want to do, is do that. I've not asked anything from anybody at Turning Point. Maybe if I asked, I would get it, but I don't want anything. And quite frankly, hold on, I got to finish. Hold on. You spoke for a while. I'm gonna talk. Now, I don't want anything. I've been asked to go on CNN and be a contributor on a consistent panel on a contract. I don't want that. I want to be independent and do my own thing. I want to be able to go to Turning Point events. I want to be able to go to the Amphas I did in Miami. I went to an event with Shirley Hussar. I don't know if you know what that is, a black event. I went there this year. And all of them I paid my own money to go to because I want to meet people. I don't want to build my brand myself. I don't need anything from Turning Point or anybody else. So I'm not really worried about that.
Well, my point is this. I didn't ask to be a part of Turning Point USA. They asked me. So anytime you start involving yourself with Turning Point USA, you don't have to ask for anything, ABL. It's handed to you if you are selected. And what I'm saying is that you and I and others have not been selected.
Okay, but do I want to be selected? That's the question.
Hold on, don't cut me off.
But hold on. My show. Hold on, hotel. I've been cool with you. But we gotta respect the show. All right. So if I'm talking, you gotta just pause for a minute, and I get right back to you. I'm gonna give you the floor, but you gotta let me talk. Now, the question is, does ABL want it? They know how I operate. I'm not the kind of guy that's even really trying to do that. So I don't really need that. So it wouldn't even make a difference to me.
I'm not talking about you. I said all of us.
I mean, what you need, that's what you need. But you can't include. You can't hold up. You can't include me in that. Just talk about yourself.
No. I'm talking about straight men being pushed to the background in favor of gay men. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the people who say they don't play identity politics, but they'll parade around the nation with a gay black veteran to win brownie points with the left, because the truth is this Menshevik organization really just wants to get a little bit closer to the left. They want a seat at the table. You see, when you have an organization or a nation, the nation isn't built upon compromise. The nation is built upon standing to your principles, standing on your laurels. And the conservative movement is very much so a Christian ideology. And they don't really favor homosexuality too well, as you can see with the Chick-fil-A incident. Conservatives aren't really too into. So to take a gay man and parade him around the nation while ignoring other black men.
So hold on. Do you think Chick-fil-A is an anti-gay organization?
Well, we've taken this conversation. We talking about TPUSA. We talking about TPUSA using identity politics to become more.
You brought Chick-fil-A. I just want to get a clarification.
What they're doing is they're taking the right and they're bringing the right closer to the left instead of keeping the right.
So how are they doing that?
The only thing they're conserving is liberalism.
What makes you say that? How are they conserving liberalism?
Well, this week we saw a story hit about a drag queen flashing herself in front of a group of children.
Okay.
Private parts all out. Now we see TPUSA going around the country taking pictures with trans people. You got people walking around with gay people and using that label. See, it's one thing to be gay and you don't talk about it. It's another thing that every time you pop up, you have to say you're gay.
All right. So I'm gonna jump in right here. Now, do you know Rob's stance on the drag queen that did that to the kids? Do you know his stance on that?
We saw Rob's video.
The question is, do you know the stance on it?
We saw Rob's video where he explained his stance. We all saw it.
No, I mean because look, people in the audience may not even know who you are, who Rob is, or anything. So for the crowd, do you know Rob's stance on the drag queen that flashed the children?
Yes, I do.
And what is his stance?
He's against it.
Okay, now how about the drag queen that took a picture with Charlie Kirk? Do you know his stance on the drag queen that did that to the kids?
He's against it.
All right, so what are we talking about then? Why did you even bring it up at the same time? They're against that stuff with the kids. These are adults. They're adult men. Hold up. They're adult men. They got a right to do whatever they want. You know, as long as you ain't hurting nobody, as long as you ain't putting no kids in there. So why would you be against a drag queen speaking against hurting children? Why would you be against that? I don't understand.
Well, you see, George Orwell wrote this book, 1984. And in 1984, he was illustrating the effects of socialism and communism. And one thing he always talked about was double speak. You know, where people speak out both sides of their mouth. You know, they'll say one thing while they do another. You see, in order to deceive people, you have to put on a mask. You have to put on a cloak. You have to say the right things. That's what makes grifting so great.
So are they lying?
You tell people what they want to hear.
So are they lying?
You should do is you walk around.
Can you hear me?
Talking about you. Yeah, I hear you.
So are they lying?
Are they lying about what?
Their stance on the drag queen flashing the children. You think they're lying about that?
Well, I believe you're off topic.
The question was we're talking about drag queens and Turning Point and all this and that. We're on topic. Are they lying in your opinion? Yes or no question.
It's irrelevant.
So you don't want to answer the question. I got you. So we can just go with the default.
No,
Hold on. So hold up. We can go with the default of you guys got to believe them. You're not going to say if they're lying or not. I say they're telling the truth. Since you want to make a decision, we just go with what they said, which is telling the truth. That they're against. When I'm talking, can nobody hear you? That they're against these men flashing children. We got to just take that for what it is.
Sure. So let's say we believe them. Okay, we believe your stance. But you know, my grandma always told me, you never believe what people say. You got to watch what they do.
Okay, so I mean, you
take
just
their actions and not by their words.
You just believe what you want. Then okay,
what people say. I want to see what you do. What we watch and what we see from TPUSA is a parading of people across the nation that carry values that aren't even Christian. And I'm not Christian. I'm not conservative, but I feel bad for the conservatives who are Christian who have to watch.
But wait a minute, is Turning Point a Christian organization?
Compromised by their enemies.
Is Turning Point a Christian organization?
We said conservative.
No, but you said hold up. Wait a minute. You said something about Christians. So are they a Christian organization? So
you have this interesting tactic where you like to ask yes or no questions.
I mean, you said something about you said, hold on. I'm just trying to figure out what's happening because wait. These are good questions. That's all. It's just good questions because you were talking about you feel sorry for your Christian brothers and sisters that got to see this, but Turning Point does not purport themselves to be a Christian organization. I could see if they hold up. Wait. I could see if they were a Christian organization and they were out here doing things that were totally not Christian. There are Christian organizations, Christian universities. There's all that kind of good stuff. Turning Point does not purport themselves to be that. They're just talking about basic things and they're bringing it to a college level and they're letting the kids run these chapters and do their own thing, organize people politically or just on basic issues that are happening on campus. They don't say we're a Christian organization and then they come up with things that are anti-Christian. If that were the case, I'd be right there with you, but that ain't the case. So what are we talking about?
Well, do they purport themselves to be a conservative organization, TPUSA?
Well, I'm not exactly sure. I think they do.
You think they do? Okay, that's fine. Well, conservatism is wholly Christian. It's not Christian values. I've learned this over the course of the years by watching and talking to these people and participating in the MAGA movement. I know for a fact these people are largely Christian people. On our money, it says, "In God we trust." Right? This is a very much a Christian-founded nation.
Okay, so if a person is not Christian, can they be accepted into conservatism? I'm not Christian, so am I not conservative? Are you Christian?
What rules are we playing by the rules of where we allow each other to speak? Or are we playing this is ABL show, so I'm gonna cut you off when I
mean, I let you talk a lot, but I gotta be able to jump in at certain times too. That's just kind of how it is. But you have been given a lot of time.
Conservatism is Christian. Gay is not Christian.
Okay. The question I had.
USA is conservative. They're bringing liberal values.
Okay. So the question I had to you was.
They're not taking conservatism.
All right. See. All right. When I start talking, you got to just relax because I'm gonna just put you on mute. Now the question I had for you was, I'm not Christian, so am I conservative? You there, boss?
Wait, what? Wait, what'd you say?
I'm not Christian, so am I conservative?
I don't know. Are you?
I'm conservative. I'm not.
Okay, you conservative.
All right then. So what's up with all this? You got to have Christian values. What's up with that?
That's what you would call a double implication, right? You're trying to purport that there's some sort of double implication, but there's not a double implication. There's a single implication. See, you can be not Christian and be conservative.
Okay.
But you can be conservative and not Christian, but the reverse could be true too, where your Christian is wholly a conservative value. Christianity is a part of conservatism, so you don't have to participate in Christianity, identify as conservative.
Okay.
But if you're conservative, you're talking about being Christian values.
So. Okay, so since I'm not Christian, I don't adhere to Christian values, then that means I'm not really conservative. I don't understand.
The problem is the left has these values, and one of them happens to be a strong LGBT push.
All right. I mean,
Like,
hey, you know what?
conservative-
I'm sorry. I gotta kind of get to my next one. You've been on for 15 minutes. I'm gonna cut you, but I got a lot of other calls on the line. We can do this again sometime. Ain't no problem, man. Anytime you want to do a show, whatever, we can do it. But I do have other calls on the line.
How about you debate me? How about you debate me on a neutral platform? I'll have Anomaly set it up.
But we'll see about that. I'm not sure if that's neutral or not, but we'll see. All right.
I mean, we can pick another platform. Doesn't matter. Just let me know.
We'll talk.
Debate me?
We'll talk.
You scared, ABL?
I mean, I talked to you just right now. I could have been hung up the phone and he hung up. Oh man, I gave him like 15 minutes, man. That's a long time to be on a call-in show talking. I mean, try to call in Rush Limbaugh and get 15 minutes. You'd be getting 15 seconds to get out the door. But shout out to Hotep Jesus. That's who that was. Listen, I ask good questions and not bad questions or baiting questions. I ask good questions. I know how to do this. I've been doing it for a long time, and you got to be able to answer the questions. Can somebody be non-Christian, non-religious, and be conservative? Can they be LGBT? Can they be a person that's a drag queen? You don't got to agree with it, but that doesn't mean that I have to be against you because you're that. I'm gonna say, hey, let's fight these crazy leftists together. Let's get this, thing done. That's how I'm gonna operate. If you don't want to operate like that, you're gonna find yourself on the island by yourself and you won't be able to get things done. It is what it is. But yeah, shout out to him and shout out to everybody. Let me get to the next call. 520, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
My name is Alice Noble, and I'm calling from Douglas, Arizona.
All righty. What's going on?
Well, I want to tell you guys what's really going on, the deep evil plantation that's happening in our nation, rooted plantation.
You said the deep evil plantation?
Yes, the deep plantation, rooted the plantation that's happening in our country, the corruption in our country.
Okay, explain that a little bit for me.
Yeah, I want to talk about the wall. I want to talk about illegal aliens. I'm going to talk about illegal alien elected officials that are in our office, in our government offices, and there's a lot of stuff, and also the elections.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, my name is Alice Novoa, and I live here in Douglas, Arizona, and I'm a citizen of the United States of Mexican ancestry. And the reason I'm calling is because I listen to people speak, but a lot of people do not even know what's really happening. The greatest enemy of the United States is not Russia, the Russian hack. It was a Mexico hack. Okay? Mexico is the greatest enemy of the United States. Mexico plans on the overthrow and takeover of the entire United States for Mexico at the ballot box. And we have right now, because of the loophole in all voters' registration forms in all 50 states, including...
Oh, caller, you there?
Going on.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, go for it.
What's going on is that illegal aliens are elected officials in the local level, in the county level, in the state level, and in the federal level. We have officials. Millions of illegal aliens that are registered to vote.
You kind of breaking up really bad. It's kind of hard to. You kind of breaking up a lot.
Well, let me put my. Okay.
All right, caller, can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well. Continue.
Okay, so what's going on is that if people would really look into it, they will see that there's a loophole in the voters' registration forms. In all voter registration forms, it says you have to be a United States citizen to register, and if you are not, do not continue. But that does not require a birth certificate. And so people are using their utility bills, their residency, to pretend that they are United States citizens and are not, and they're registered to vote. Have you ever heard of Univision or Univision?
Yes, I have.
Univision is part of the Aztlán movement. I'm going to spell to you Aztlán, okay? Aztlán, the way you spell it, sir, is A as in Alice, Z as in zebra, T as in top, L as in love, A as in Alice, N as in not. I would tell your people that are listening to you, your audience, to look up Nation of Aztlán on YouTube. And also look up Aztlán maps, images. And also look up Aztlán, just Aztlán images. And you will see who the real enemy is. Mexico, I don't know if you ever heard about this. They've always said that California, Arizona, Texas, and New Mexico belongs to Mexico, that we stole that land. Now they're saying that the whole United States belongs to Mexico, and they plan to overthrow us at the ballot box. Okay, and they're doing it right now. And right now, what's going on, if you would look me up, you will see they call me a white supremacist, yet I am a citizen of the United States of Mexican ancestry, because I have taken people that are elected officials, I have taken them to court, I have filed complaints against them for being illegal aliens that are here in our country as elected officials. Okay? But they have dismissed all my cases. And this coming week, I will be filing against a woman by the name of Regina.
Hold on. We can't say names. Matter of fact, I got some other calls. I think that because you got a lot of information, if you could email me a lot of this information, I'd love to read it. But we got a lot of calls that are coming in online.
Okay. Why? I don't know your email, sir.
It's on my website. It's Anthony B as in boy Logan.com. You can just search my name and website will be right there. Go to the contact page, shoot me an email.
Well, I'm watching you on YouTube right now. I'm going to look you up, okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and God bless you, sir.
All right. God bless you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. I didn't want her to put a name out there of a lawsuit. I ain't wanted to get in trouble. So shout out to her, though. I appreciate it. Ask the line. I think the guys in the chat, y'all know. You guys in the chat, y'all smarter than me, so y'all already know what time it is. I'm going to go ahead and get to my next call here. 423, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Zachary Clark. How are you doing, Anthony?
Everything's good, man. About yourself?
Wonderful. So this is my second time, but I won't keep you long because, of course, you have a whole list of callers. So is everything going okay?
Everything's going great, man. Can't complain.
Wonderful. So about this whole impeachment vote that Nancy Pelosi, she's been trying to, I realized that over the past month, she's been trying to do everything she possibly could to avoid the vote and have as much of the partisanship of that investigation as possible. Do you think she was committing political suicide, which she likely is, but do you believe it was political suicide for her to be able to have that vote?
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, but I'm not sure if it'll damage her as bad as many people think. It probably, it'll damage a lot of the other Democrats that are kind of vulnerable in some of these more conservative places. Nancy Pelosi herself, I'm not quite sure. But it's going to be bad because it won't actually result in anything. It'll just be a bunch of pomp and circumstance with no result at the end.
And plus the rules. The thing, though, is I would advise the Republicans in Congress, as much as the process stuck and as much as the rules are terrible and it goes against past precedent of the other 3 times that a president was either impeached or was at least recommended for impeachment in the case of Richard Nixon. But stop whining about the process and actually take up defense for the president.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, whining about explaining why the process is bad. Yeah, that's all well and good. but it's an open. But you need to really start laying out the case on why we don't need impeachment in the first place. Quid pro Joe, whose campaign, Quid pro Joe, whose campaign is failing. Oh my gosh, he could not tell Iowa from Ohio. I mean, did you see that today? He said, "It's good to be amongst you all in Ohio, not only Iowa." But this whole Hunter Biden thing is gonna haunt him. I mean, I feel bad for him that he lost one of his own. Like, those were the only two sons he had. One's gone, and one's basically ruined. Oh well.
Yeah, hey, that's kind of how the cookie crumbles. Too bad, so sad.
Well, I guess let you go because I bet there's plenty of other callers. But it's good to hear from y'all again.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay.
All right,
you
now.
Take care. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, now. All right. Shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank y'all for being here. Most certainly appreciate y'all. The number to call is 434-658-1220. You can get in through Skype as well, through the link in the description box. Pardon me, through the email in the description box. And let me see if I can get to my next call. Y'all just hang tight. 720, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Oh, hey, ABL. This is Russ from Denver. How are you, man?
Everything's great, man. How about yourself?
I'll tell you what. I'm surviving in this land filled with people suffering from Trump derangement syndrome.
Oh man, I can imagine. It's crazy. I had a little incident. Well, I was at Politicon, and there was this guy suffering from full blown Trump derangement syndrome. Dropped the N-word and all that. I was like, sir, wait a minute, man. Like, get some help. Get it together. He was all over the place. But yeah.
Yeah, no kidding, man. So people in this state, us native Coloradans, we're kind of outnumbered by a bunch of California communists. So they've just kind of poured in here and turned the entire state blue, man. It's pretty sad.
Yeah, and is that because of the whole weed thing?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I mean, people, you got consequences to some of these things. You're attracting the wrong kind of people, and it's like, man, do you think that might have been the wrong decision for Colorado to do that? Because it kind of like set them as this big target on their back. Like, hey, if you want to smoke weed, come here. From California, come on over. Vote blue, come on over.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I kind of wanted to talk about these never Trumpers that I'm frustrated with, especially in the Senate, like Mitt Romney, Ben Sass, Lisa Murkowski, Lamar Alexander, Joni Ernst, the whole lot. When it comes to this impeachment of President Trump, it's like, these guys need to know that, hey, the whole Russia collusion thing didn't work. The Steele dossier was a complete fake. And now you're going to believe Adam Schiff's a little phony impeachment scam? I mean, come on, how stupid do you have to be? And I think the reason they're going along with it is because they don't like President Trump. They don't like how he looks. They don't like what he says. They don't like how he talks. They don't like his hair. And so it's just little nitpicky things like this. And then you have Never Trump magazines like National Review saying, we need to go back to the days of our founder, William F. Buckley, who is more sophisticated. He was a true principled conservative who had the reverence for the Constitution.
Exactly.
Here's what you don't know about William F. Buckley. There was a debate with him in 1968 with leftist Gore Vidal. And I'm telling you, if you go on YouTube and you watch that, it was brutal. It was just like how Trump was debating Hillary Clinton. It was just like a brutal smackdown between those two. Okay.
As far as Gore Vidal beating William F. Buckley.
It's the entire. It was at a debate in 1968. Those two, and I guess William F. Buckley lost it and called Gore Vidal a queer.
Wow. Wow.
So, and the thing is because the thing they're doing is because these conservative magazines are losing money because they're rendered irrelevant. So they try to raise money by having these little cruises, and they have people go on there and they talk about what it means to be a true conservative, one who is principled, reveres the Constitution, and rises above all criticism. So when any Democrat calls you racist, sexist, bigot, homophobe, you are not to respond. No, you are to rise above it and be an example to the world of and show that you have true character and dignity.
Hilarious. Yep. That's how they are.
And I gotta tell you, in today's day and age, that does not work. This is why we have President Trump fighting for us every single day. And the policies that are coming out of this administration, especially with this booming economy that we have, everything that they have talked about in their magazines have, President Trump has put out. But the thing is they don't like the person in the White House doing it. And so instead of jumping on the Trump train, supporting him, they continue to fight against him because these guys are irrelevant, and he has proved that they are not needed.
Right. That's right. Exactly. I mean, the days of old are the days of old. They're not coming back. We got to keep pushing forward.
No.
Looking behind us, I mean, you can see it. You can, read a book, watch a movie. You can have nostalgia and all of that, but nostalgia is not going to get you to win a 2020 election. You got to think about what's happening right now and react in real time to what's going on.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about the 2020 election right now, and I'm very confident that President Trump will win it out, and especially if he's debating against Elizabeth Warren. Now, I know that there are those in some of the Rust Belt that kind of want Biden, especially in Pennsylvania, because he grew, he was born in Scranton, and so I have no doubt there are a few there that says, you know what, even though old Joe was in Delaware most of his life, he was born in Scranton. He's one of us. We got to support him. But with Elizabeth Warren, I don't think there's a chance in hell that she is going to capture the Rust Belt. Not with the policies that she wants to come out with. And, like I said, instead of the never-Trumpers joining the Democrats fighting against him, they need to be on the Trump train and fight against everything the left is for, because if not, they're going to be totally rendered irrelevant. And I'm just going to say, if any of these Republicans vote to convict President Trump in impeachment, especially people like Mitt Romney, Lisa Murkowski, Ben Sasse, Lamar Alexander, Pat Toomey, and more, I'm telling you, you guys do that, your careers are done, because we are not going to stand for that. And we will even confront you at town halls and tell you that you guys are not fighting for the interests of your constituents. You are fighting for the establishment. And not only that, but especially you guys in Utah, I don't know what you were thinking by voting for Romney, man. I gotta say, I think he is just a total snake in the grass. He's John McCain and Jeff Flake put together. I call them both 2.0. Because he is just nothing but a lying shill. He's a snake. Even my dad, who supported Mitt Romney back in 2012, he's just like, I just hate I hate what he became. And it's all because he wanted to be president, didn't get the chance, so he wanted to be President Trump's Secretary of State and got turned down, and now he's paying the price. Okay? And now he wants to join the Democrats in revenge of this phony impeachment scam and some of these other rhinos in the Senate, and it disgusts me. And some of them are up for re-election in 2020. And I'm just saying, if you do not get on board the Trump train and fight for his policies and speak up and speak out against these lying, scheming Democrats in Congress, then I'm sorry, but you can kiss your seats goodbye. And if you so much as say that we'll vote for you because voting for a Democrat is much worse, the days of holding our noses and voting for you rhinos in the House and Senate are over. Get on the Trump train or get out of town.
Wow, very well said, man. And I thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate your call.
Hey, take care, man.
All right, no problem.
Bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Hey, the caller was on fire, man. I had to just let him rock. It's like, hey, man, let that flame just burn. Let them keep on rocking. But shout out to all the callers. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Thank y'all for being here tonight. Definitely appreciate you. I'm going to try to get to the next call ASAP. Let's go ahead and go 240. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
It's your boy JB. What's up, brother?
Everything's good, man. What's happening?
Everything's everything. Man, things getting crazy. I bet another person $100. He won't get impeached. It bet me gonna step down in 2020. Donald Trump will. I said, I'm about to be rich off your money. I'm about to ball out his sizzler. These people are idiots. They don't understand impeachment don't mean you get kicked out of government, you moron.
People don't know. They don't understand nothing. You know, they hear they hear, oh, impeach, oh, he done. No, that's not how that works. It's a whole process. So you might as well just go ahead and calm on down. He's still gonna be the president, and in 2020 he'll be elected yet again. So don't get excited.
Exactly, and then on the flip side is the way they're running the procedures. It's counterproductive. It makes them look bad because they're sneaking behind offices and secret meetings. And then that last caller, Jesus something, he's an idiot. Hey, ABL, you scared? You were scared to what's the name? Debate me on my platform with my crazy kooky friends. Cause I'm Jesus. What do you call himself? Jesus what?
Hosep Jesus.
Hosep Jesus. Okay, yeah, that even sounds whack. Whatever. I'm sorry, ABL. I don't make fun of your friend like that. But anyways, ABL. But yeah, it's getting crazy out here. These people have Trump derangement syndrome, and I'm noticing more and more the trend is he's gaining a lot of African American votes. Have you noticed that? More and more black people are saying, "Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. I don't even care what nobody say. I'm done. I'm promoting him."
Yeah,
have you noticed that?
Because the left, they're going so far left. It's like, man, I can't get on board with that. You know, they're talking about taking guns, killing babies full term. It's just so crazy. It's like, man, come on. And then they see Trump, they see what he's doing, they like the way he's rocking. I was watching one little video on YouTube, and it was different accents, different quote unquote hood accents. And then the dude that was interviewing asked the one guy, random dude in the street, Detroit or something, how you feel about Trump? And he was trying to be negative, but the whole time he had a big smile on his face. And at the end, he was like, you know what? I like Trump. That's how a lot of us are nowadays.
Exactly. And that's what most people don't understand. And have you heard of Brian Allen, his lawsuit with Comcast? Heard about that?
I heard about that, but I don't know a lot about it. I just heard about, Brian Allen and the lawsuit.
Yeah, the thing I don't like about it is how he mixed Trump into that. He said Trump's GOP government is going to come for him. Check out the Breakfast Club interview. He's a very intelligent brother. He did a lot for African American for the American black community. But what he lost me at was he also pandered to the whole Obama did so much. But then he also hinted around saying Obama didn't do nothing for us. You see what I'm saying? And you gotta watch the interview. It's an interview for the Breakfast Club. He also tried to throw Trump under the bus. He also gave Obama this big old pass on my. I came to him what I wanted, and he didn't operate technically. He didn't say it, but he said it. You get what I'm saying, ABL? Because he know he can't diss Obama.
Yeah, he kind of like, kind of like beating around the bush. I would like for him just to come out guns blazing, but maybe he can't because you got business involved. I understand. You ain't trying to mess up your money. I get it, but I would like for him to come out guns blazing and say, Obama didn't do anything, Trump's doing more. Come out and say that. That's what I really want, but I understand why you can't do that.
I know because he's a black owner, and then on top of that, he's a very intelligent brother. Very intelligent. I want to tell you something. What I didn't like is how DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God said to him, "What's the hookup, brother? Hey, yo, man, I'm trying to get to that green like you got. You wouldn't ask Bill Gates that. Why would you ask Brian Allen that?"
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a hood lingo show. This brother has made $300 million.
Yeah, you got to respect. You got to respect this man for that.
He came from nothing and came to something. This man owns a Weather Channel. He has over 49 court TV shows on the air now.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And the thing makes me mad is that we as black people, we always don't want to put the work in And I'm not. You know, going ABL. A lot of black people, they don't want to put the work in to be successful, but they want the easy road to be successful. And when you learn it's not easy to be successful, oh, look at you. You came from, I don't know, my first scene you had like maybe 30,000 subs, 30,000 subscribers, and in 3 years you doubled that. You have more subscribers than Brian Salter has. You know what I'm saying? And Mark Dyson has, you know what Mark Dyson is? He has 1.4 million.
Mark Dyson's huge.
More than CNN has.
Yeah, he has more than like Mark Dice is like a whole network in himself. Like people watch Mark Dice and enjoy him more than a CNN.
Exactly, and that's what people don't understand. I try to tell everybody. I said, don't you realize CNN independent newscasters are being more looked at more because guess what? They are big in the community. When you agree, like your show, I show people your show. Even most conservative people. My wife looked at your show and she's like the biggest Democrat ever. She was like, I like the way he speaks, but I don't agree with him though.
Well, hey, I got a little bit of a good point there. It's like the way I speak, so I like that. You know, that's something. You know.
Yeah, and you want to hear something crazy? Did you hear about? So I had an argument with somebody about how Hollywood treats black African Americans, black Americans. They get British people to play our roles. Have you noticed that?
Yeah, I saw that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Harriet Tubman movie. I said I'm sick of slave movies, and I said they the way they made it like a superhero. They made her commanding a Confederate soldier. I'm like, get that.
Wait, you said they outsourced slavery?
Yeah, no. I said they outsourced us to British.
No, I'm with you. I understand.
Our
yeah.
heroes.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then on the flip side, they had her commanding soldiers in that movie. You see the clips of it? And my wife said they had her commanding soldiers in that movie. I was like, what? Kidding me? Harry Tubman didn't command no regiment. Get the hell out of here. See? You see how they do it too superfied? Because they're trying, and this goes to the president. They're always trying to put the black male down and boost the white and black female up. That's BS to the utmost. Well, ABL, you have a nice one. Did you get the Call of Duty yet, brother? Before I leave.
I haven't got it yet. I still gotta. I'm still debating whether I want to get it. So I don't know about that one yet.
It's pretty good. My son was playing it, and he my baby bear was playing it. I know he's 13. I should call him baby bear. He's killing it with it. He loves it. And I play a little bit too. I didn't think I was gonna like it, but it's actually the story mode's okay. But just they had this one-on-one mode with the teams and everything. You heard about that?
I think I did hear about that. Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I'm not a Call of Duty fan, but it kept me interested. I was in love with it for a second then. All right, brother, man. Have a nice one, man. Peace up in Jericho's room, ABL. We're going to get to 420 subscribers for the year's over, all right?
There it is, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, brother. Peace.
Peace. All right. Thank you to my man, JB, for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. And thank you all for calling in. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can. Y'all just hang tight. Let me get to the next call here. All right, call leader on line 347. Who am I speaking to?
ABL.
What's happening?
What's happening, bro?
Everything is good, man. Everything good up there? Like you in the traffic, ain't you, with the whole Trump thing happening?
Yeah. I'm in New York City. Yeah, exactly. Yo, bro. It's a good night tonight, bro. It's like amazing being here in New York City, knowing our president is right here down the street, you know, and everyone's going mad. There's protesters in the street, you know.
Wow.
Trying to, you know. But for me, bro, I'm like, hey, man, I'm just honored to be 3 blocks away from my president. I'm pulled off. I'm on 36 right now, so Madison Square Garden is 33rd. So I'm a couple blocks away, and you know, I'm cool with it, bro. I'm cool with it, you know.
So is he going? Is he going to the UFC event?
Yes. He's actually attending that fight, I believe. I just Googled it to see what he's doing there, and I know there's definitely a fight tonight, and it does seems that he's attending the fight. I was out of town yesterday, so I wasn't 100% sure as to why he's in town. I kind of just got it last minute because I couldn't figure out why traffic wasn't moving, And then once I figured out he's in town, I'm like, oh, shoot, man. Our president is in town, bro. So I'm just rubbing it in whenever I can, and turning out into a good night. I had somebody who just gave me like a $60 tip, bro, just because I was like, like pro-Trump, and so you can't really be that in New York City, of course. So he got into the car with his wife, and we were like, he was like, what's up with the traffic? And I'm like, oh, well, the president is in town or whatever. He's like, oh, man, I forgot my mega hat. So his wife goes, shh, no, be quiet, So I was like, no, it's cool. I'm down, and then so, we just got into a great conversation, and all that. And the brother gave me a $60 tip, bro, so my night turning out pretty good. Yeah, but I just want to give you a shout out, let you know that I'm out here in these streets, man, and our president is killing it out here, bro. Killing it.
No doubt, man. Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yo, one more thing. Sorry,
all right.
I know I'll
Go for it.
keep on ranting. But I was actually, this whole climate change, Cuomo, talking about it, blaming Trump for climate change and trying to blame what happened upstate New York on climate change and stuff like that. Bro, that is a bunch of bull. That was a bunch of bull. So I was just up there for a wedding like yesterday. So I spent a good amount of my time up there, and then also this morning. So I was able to like go around town and stuff like that. There's still places that you could drive, and obviously there's still places that's blocked off that you can. Right? And if you speak to the local people, right, the local people over there will tell you it has nothing to do with climate change. It has everything to do with our infrastructure, because the state of our roads is so bad that any little storm, like, right, causes erosions. And after a couple years, once a not necessarily big storm, but a storm with enough rain falls, then what happens? The roads collapse. Yeah, it has nothing to do with climate change. It has everything to do with you as governor of New York City taking care of the roads.
That's right.
Yeah, don't blame, like, obviously they finding the scapegoat on it by blaming climate change and blaming Trump. What does he have to do with it? Okay, so let's say for example, Trump was for climate change. Let's say he was like, oh, okay, yeah, we need to focus on climate change and all this. Would this storm not have happened?
Right, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, if we give all the money to climate change, we just, empty our pockets, give it to Greta Thunberg, Al Gore, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Are we just going to stop weather from happening? We're not going to have any more rainstorms that get a little out of hand. We're not going to have any more flooding. We won't have any infrastructure that breaks and then floods happen as a result. I mean, it's crazy, but that's what they're saying is going to happen. So I want to see that magic take place.
Exactly. Everything is cyclical, bro. Like, everything is a cycle. So even the earth, like, and what's happening right now, it's just a cycle. Like, you can go look at it up and see what the hottest days were and all that. No, it was like hundreds of years ago, and all that was recorded the hottest day, whatever. It's not like today. Oh, because every summer it should be the hottest day recorded, right? If that's the case. But if we go look at the records, we have to go back almost hundreds of years, not hundreds, but at least close to 80 to 100 years to find the hottest days recorded. And it's like, oh, wow, okay. So what happened since then? Because if it has everything to do with climate change, our temperature should be twice those numbers, right?
That's
right. It just has something to do with it, dude. But hey, they just trying to get people to drink the Kool-Aid, man, and unfortunately people are just drinking that climate change Kool-Aid,
That's right, man.
But we're not gonna fall for it, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna get off the phone. Let me wait for my president to finish up, and maybe if I can get a glimpse at him, maybe I can get a picture, bro. I know that's probably not gonna happen. But yo, appreciate you, bro. Have a good night. Have a great show. Love the content. Keep it going, man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
See, and you saw it did take a week for me to figure out how to send you money, right? So
Yeah, hey,
Math,
I'm glad it worked out for you, man, for sure. I appreciate it.
That math, it took a week, but it came. It came. You know, math is tough for us black folks.
All right, man, take
Good
care.
show, bro. All right.
All right, shout out to the caller. Most certainly appreciate him. And the phone lines are jumping. I'm going to try to get to everybody as soon as I can. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Thank you to the super chatters right quick. Thank you to my man Drew, who says, good show. Got to get ready for tomorrow. Praying for you. Hey, thank you for that. God bless you. Thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Matthew Richardson, who says, preach on, dude. Hey, that's what I'm here for. Thank you for that. Shout out to B. Neal, who says, bold, unapologetic leadership. Trump 2020, keep America great. Hey, thank you for that. And thank you for your donation and your words. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Corey for your donation. Thank you to VAGFY 1892, who says conservative is a political affiliation to conserve the Constitution. They hold some religious values, but they are not religion. Thank you for that. Definitely appreciate you. Sun State 88 says Jesus said he would rather a man have a millstone tied to his neck and cast in the ocean than lead his children to sin. Hey, thank you for your donation. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to Pineapple Optimus, who says, would you support anything 100% for the U.S. but 0% for Israel? It depends on what it was. If it was beneficial for us, like you say 100% for, as in this is earmarked for the U.S., it depends on what it is. It depends on the situation. So give me a specific thing and then I can answer, like a real thing. But thank you for your donation. Thank you to Brad the Brand, who says, ABL, this is your South African Uber driver. I'm so happy my president is in New York City right now causing traffic. Make New York great again. Hey, man, thank you for that. I definitely appreciate you. And shout out to you for the call just now. I appreciate that. Shout out to Max Abramson, who says, Blue Ocean Strategy for Libertarians on Facebook. If you want to stop Democrats and rhinos taking over. Thank you for that. I think that's all super chats right now. Let me get to the next call. And hold on. You guys just hang tight, please. Okay, let's go. All right, Matt, what's happening?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Everything's good, man. Can't complain.
Hey, you had a really good call a few calls ago. He was talking about investigations and stuff like that.
Yes.
I haven't heard you say sir at all. So I'd like to disagree with you about something, and I'd like to posit this. I don't think Trump should run for a second term.
Oh wow. Okay. Why you say that?
I see the Trump presidency as like a mission accomplished. I think if it were a battleship, they would land an aircraft on it and unfurl a banner that says mission accomplished. The economy is getting ready to take a turn, and honestly, I think just for the purpose of saying mission accomplished and not sort of entangling his dealings with the Fed in terms of lowering interest rates, and they're doing quantitative easing again. I think he should just sort of buy out, or else the whole thing that's sort of happening with central banks is going to get blamed on him. It's going to get blamed on central banking, or free markets instead of central banking. And I think I don't think the red wave is going to be as big as everyone hopes, because a lot of Republican senators are just sort of getting out. A lot of people in the House are getting out even more so. And I do think there's going to be a lot of seats that get picked up, but without Trump in the second term, we'd have both houses and a Democrat president, which is kind of the perfect government for the economic crisis that's getting ready to come.
Wow, that's an interesting take. So, okay, you're saying that the quantitative easing, that's the marker that you're looking at to signal that the economy is going to a slowdown. Is there anything else?
My banker told me a few weeks ago that this housing bubble, so to speak, is better this time because they're not renting, or they're not loaning to subprime like they were in 2008. And I'm like, the middle class is the subprime. So if you're given housing loans, then you're obviously loaning to a subprime market. And there's still $3.8 trillion of assets on the Fed balance sheet. There wasn't a balance sheet in 2008. So whether it be treasuries or real estate, the Fed is still very involved in the market. And there was a real heavy taper over the last couple of years. And Trump has been asking for that taper to be reversed and for interest rates to be lowered again. They're even talking, like, the talk of negative interest rates is even commonplace now, which last year you would have been laughed at if you even had even mentioned that. So all the fundamentals of the market are broken. And when the market crashes, Trump will be blamed and free market capitalism will be blamed, which in some regards, Trump is not running a central bank that is free market centric. It's not free market-esque at all.
Now, is there any way to avoid this?
Well, that is, you can't avoid it. You can't avoid a market correction. All you can do is make it worse. So in 1921, the greatest market inflection that ever happened, so it's prior to the Great Depression. It had to do with Democrat hard money people and silverists that caused a lot of silver speculation. There was over speculation in silver, but Warren G. Harding just let the market correction happen. And those who speculated lost, and those who weren't in the market, which was most people, didn't take a big hit. I mean, there was joblessness for a couple months or so, but nothing like what we've experienced in 2008. Market corrections have to happen, and avoiding them is really what makes it worse.
All right, I got my last question. So during the market correction, if it were to happen, and do you think that would the president matter as far as lessening the severity of it, if that makes any sense? Like, if you had like Elizabeth Warren in there, would she worsen the crisis versus a President Trump who would not have it be as bad?
That's a good question, and really I hadn't thought of that. But per se, I mean, what would Elizabeth Warren want to do? She'd want to create jobs programs, like WPA. Back in
Medicare for all, $42 trillion.
Yeah, something like that. And that's a good question. You know what I mean? You're probably negating my point, but maybe capitalism wouldn't be blamed as much. So in the long term, then that wouldn't be so much of a problem. Tucker Carlson had a really good point about vaccines, and he was saying that right now, if you deny the efficacy of vaccinations, then you're an anti-science zealot. And I have a little bit of a side point on that too. But he's saying that people now that measles isn't around, people have sort of lost the reason why to vaccinate yourself. So there's campaigns against MMR shot. Well, the same thing is going on with Elizabeth Warren's socialism, because socialism and communism haven't been around for a while. Like, it's not salient for us that that the vaccine against socialism and communism, which is capitalism in the Constitution, people are just saying, why do we need that? And I thought that was really astute of him. And so if maybe Elizabeth Warren will actually exacerbate, hitting bottom. And like any heroin addict, you have to hit bottom before you can recover sometimes. And Trump might prolong the economy to be just good enough that everybody blames all the problems on free market capitalism.
Well, hopefully, what you're saying does not come to pass. But if it does, I think the main thing we could all hope for is that it is not hit as bad as it could. And, we can just kind of like survive it, man. But thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yeah, be good.
All right, now, take care. All right, thank you to my man Matt for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. All right, Nico, what's going on?
Hi, Anthony. How have you been?
Everything's been great, man. How about yourself?
I actually have a new job where I have to wake up at 5 o'clock and I have to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow, 5-2 win.
5-2, so it's good. But waking up's the hard part. You get the idea.
Yeah,
But at least
you gotta get your body used to it, and after you get your body
you
used to it,
gotta make a living. Gotta make a living.
yeah.
But anywho, I just want to say this. I actually got to see the climate change of Governor Cuomo, and I gotta say it was pretty interesting how he said that climate change was how New York didn't have climate change. But like, what do I think of climate change? Do I think it's a real thing? How do I think? Yes, no, maybe, kinda, I guess. I think I'm gonna go to the last one, kinda. But the reason why, ask the everyday person this: how can we take your message of global warming seriously, yet you fly around lecturing the everyday American in these gas guzzling private jets, and yet you drive around in these gas guzzling Escalades?
Yeah, exactly. And then you got people got these big houses, these big estates. It's like, what are we really doing?
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, it's a real thing, but how can I take your message seriously?
Right.
That's how I'm kind of like, with global warming, I guess you could say I'm more like the middle of the road sort of thing. I mean, I'll believe it's a real thing, but I'm not going to take it seriously from you, if you know what I mean.
No, I feel you. I understand.
I mean, it was the same thing with that Greta girl, that Swedish girl. But I forgot. I'm not sure how you pronounce her last name.
Thunberg.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I know I want to emphasize on her, but she's 16, bear in mind. I mean, I remember they saying this because I couldn't believe this recently, that she also has Asperger's syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I have Asperger's syndrome. But yet, bear in mind that she was 16, and at the same time, I used to be as gullible as her. I used to be as naive as her. But as I got older, and once you step foot out into the real world, you realize that it's not as you were indoctrinated or taught growing up.
That's right.
She'll change. Let's just say this. She will change once she goes out in the outside world, and she's probably going to get an ugly dose of reality. Trust me, I've learned it the hard way.
It'll be a red pill moment for sure.
Yes. And another thing I wanted to say is that about that the TP USA, what I want to say is that I'm not really sure how I'd put I'm not really sure whose side I'm exactly picking here, to be honest, because it's really hard. But I gotta say that Nick guy, just let him speak, because I don't believe it was a good thing. I don't really believe it was a good thing to just shut him out like that, because I didn't exactly know. People argue, oh, he had legitimate points, but I say, let the dude speak. If he has bad ideas, then the majority of people would ignore him. But I don't think kicking him out was the greatest thing, because therefore you're blocking the tea kettle that's laying out. You're basically blocking the safety valve, and when the safety valve is blocked, it's going to explode, because therefore he's probably going to look for more extremist buddies of his that you actually are probably more hysterical about, if you kind of know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you. See, the thing about that is that Politicon kicked him out. People are saying that Charlie did it, but nobody has any evidence of that.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you want to let him speak, let him speak. Because if you're not going to let him speak, then later on you're going to be dealing with real white nationalists that people are more hysterical about. It's a horseshoe theory. You ever heard of that?
I've heard of it, but I don't know what that is.
The horseshoe theory is when the far left and the far right are closer to each other than the center left and the center right.
Okay.
That's basically what the whole scenario might be about right now.
Okay, I see.
And yeah. Oh, and another thing, have you actually heard about that Katie Hill has resigned?
Yeah, I saw that, and I saw that she was blaming everybody else in the world rather than herself.
I mean, here was a simple thing. It's okay to brush another colleague's clothes, but if you had some clothes on, it would just clothes on, and it wouldn't be a total fallout.
Right? Yeah. Don't be butt naked combing your coworker's hair. How about that? Just a thought.
Actually, it feels great, Anthony. Funny experience. It feels great because, believe it or not, 2 years ago I've actually had a female a female friend of mine who actually ran a hair salon, cut my hair, and it actually feels like you're getting a massage almost. Hey, wouldn't that be nice?
Hey, I wish I knew the experience, man. I can't get my hair as long and luxurious as yours.
That's all right, man. Hey, maybe I'll polish that head of yours. But anyway, I know there's not really much to say, but there was something else I came across the other day, actually this morning, actually. So I'm actually up in Woodland, right? You know where UC Davis is, right?
Yeah.
UC Davis, that's before you hit Sacramento. So going north, there's a place called there's Woodland. There's a rural town right there. So this morning, I happened to walk to a Walmart there, and believe it or not, what I saw was a booth that actually said "Recall Gavin Newsom," and what I saw, people were lining up in droves to sign the petition.
Wow, that's a very good thing to see.
I'm just saying this is that never mind what you see outside of California, but here the recall campaign is really picking up steam. And even though Gavin Newsom is ignoring it and trying to sugarcoat and polish how California looks, like California is a progressive model, this recall campaign happening in rural areas is like that little fatigue that he's ignoring. And that little fatigue is going to grow into a more bigger and bigger crack that's probably going to break apart his ivory tower.
That's right. I'm with you.
All right. But I think that's pretty much all I got to say, Anthony. I'm probably going to let you go.
Well, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
See ya.
All right. Thank you to my man, Nico, for the call. I most certainly appreciate him. Let me get to my next call here. 719 on your line. I'm speaking to.
It's gonna grow into a more.
Hi, how you doing?
Everything is great. How about yourself?
Good. Love your show, of course. I was the climate change. Most people do know that our planet sits on giant plates. I mean, does anybody ever think that all the nuclear testing that is done underground and giant bombs set off, all that crap seeps out into the earth and stuff. It shifts those plates around. But, I never hear anybody bring up the fact that maybe that could be a little bit of why our planet might be a little bit haywire these days.
That's a very good point. I didn't even think about that. And yeah, people aren't really bringing that up. I don't know why they're not bringing it up, but they probably should.
I would think so. I mean, all that nuclear weapons, the heat's, when you blow it on the surface, it just blows everything away and the heat destroys everything. Well, if they're doing it underground, that crap's seeping out everywhere and the plates are moving around down there. That makes more sense, really, than, people driving their cars around.
That's right.
I would think that would be a little bit more destructive. And to the guy that said Trump should not run again, wrong. Not only with the way the Democrats are changing the rules to literally everything, I think we should be able to vote for Trump, 3 or 4 more terms. I mean, they just change the rules every day. So I think the Republicans should change the rules and let us vote for Trump as many times as we feel like it.
I don't know about that one, but hey, if they want to play those games, let's play.
Exactly. I mean, if you want to play, then, you got to play by the other side's rules too.
That's right.
People ought to, I'm so sick of, and as far as the Republicans leaving office and quitting, well, most of them are retiring because they're older than dirt. A lot of them are retiring because they're as corrupt as the Democrats, and they know they're going to get caught in the end, just like the Democrats. And people are just sick of senators altogether, I think. I think we've just all had enough.
Yeah, I think you're right, 100%. And maybe it's time for a new group of people to come on in and shake it up a little bit, just maybe.
Exactly. I mean, what's it going to hurt? I think people we're tired. Paul Ryan, when he came out and said, I've been working on tax cuts for 30 years. This is the problem. We have been listening to these senators for 30 years on both sides.
Well, just vote for me another 10 years because I'm telling you what, in 30 more years, I can get that $2 raise for you. I know I can. And then, you know, 30 more years, we can get those jobs back for you. All Trump did, and this is why they hate him, because he came in and in 2 years showed that they were a bunch of lying SOBs, that it doesn't take 30 years to cut taxes. It doesn't take 30 years to fix our economy. You know, I mean, and it showed us all that how inadequate they really are. I mean, if they worked more than, 65 days a year, then just maybe they could actually get this stuff done. And this is why they hate Trump, because Trump came in and he proved that they were all completely inadequate at their jobs, including the Republicans. There is much to blame for this as the Democrats are. I used to be a Democrat. And actually, I'm not on either side anymore. I am so sick of both sides at this point. I think Trump has enough people now. He ought to just go out there, start a brand new party, and, just call it, America's Finest.
I mean, that could happen. I thought he might do that before the general in 2016. So, I mean, that you never know. It could happen.
Well, he probably would have if, he didn't have to deal with all this impeachment stuff and everything that's going on. I mean, I don't understand these people. I don't understand. And then you got Elizabeth Warren out there wanting $52 trillion. Has she even added the interest onto that? Or did she just think that there's no interest added onto that $52 trillion?
Just a random number. She don't know how much it's going to cost. It might cost all the money in the whole world times 2. She don't know.
You know, I am old now and on Social Security. I've been paying bills since I was 15 years old. Back before I had my first kid at 16, been married 45 years, and I got news for her. $52 is a lot of money for somebody to pay out on a bill these days when you're trying to raise a family, let alone $52 trillion. But thanks a lot. Have a good day, and I'm glad you're having the show. It's fun.
Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Bye-bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. Great call. You guys have been on fire tonight. Shout out to all the calls, everybody. People that support, people that may not. It's all good. Shout out to all the calls. Let me get to the next one. Nippin, my man, you're on the line.
Oh, thought I was never going to get on today.
I got you on, man. You know how to get you on, man. So how's everything?
Apparently dogs are racist.
Yeah, apparently so, huh?
Because there's some photoshopped images, which isn't even that good, of a dog receiving the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
And the thing about it is, it was so obvious. It had a paw print on the actual medal. It's like, you guys don't see the paw? Like, that's not going to be a real medal. I mean, come on.
No. I mean, even I'm learning how to use Photoshop now, and it's hard. It's hard.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so yeah, merging 2 photos. No, it's not as easy as I thought.
Well, yeah, it's not.
It is.
There you go.
This is liberal tears.
Cheers to liberal tears.
Yep. And now then, Jerry Brown goes on about climate change being responsible for the wildfires.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like, how are you going to blame Trump? I mean, how about just clean up the state, get rid of that brush so you don't have all this fuel for the fire? Just maybe.
I bet you any money, if Trump was president and he was a Democrat with the same views as he holds right now, but just part of a different political party, I bet you any money that Jerry Brown would be, him and Jerry Brown would be on the same page.
Right. Yep.
So that's how stupid it is.
Exactly. But hey, these people, that's pretty much where they are. You know, that TDS is really strong.
And Cuomo says there was no hurricanes in New York until there was no, honestly. Stop. You're chatting honk. Honk is a British term for you're chatting. Yeah, I'm not going to say it on TV.
I could put 2 and 2 together. I can see what you mean.
Yeah. You're talking rubbish.
That's right.
So yeah, I'm not buying into it anymore. So yeah, Michelle Obama's white flight comments, proves how much of a racist she truly is.
Right. I mean, the thing is, go ahead.
I always thought she was a racist. I mean, I could see right into her. I always thought she was a racist.
Right.
But then there's all that thing, black people can't be racist. They're always the victims.
Anybody can be a racist.
Exactly. And if you're saying, in the US is the most racist country in the world for black people, no, go to India and try and be black there.
Oh, wow, really?
Seriously. They have a term for them. It's called Kala. Kala is black in a lot of Asian languages.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's I read somewhere that being black and living in India is not a good experience.
Yeah, because I don't really see too many black people in India, so I can imagine.
That's probably why.
Yeah. Same thing with China, Japan. You don't see too many black. You know, mostly Japanese people, Chinese people, Indian people. Not too much else.
Yeah, and then they have the audacity to call us in the West racist.
Right, exactly. It's like we're actually inclusive. You see everybody over here, not so much over in the East.
Yeah, not so much. And then there's How was your Politicon, by the way?
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Met a lot of people, had a lot of great conversations, had a couple of debates, and everybody was nice. Because, you know, the thing about Politicon is that the left and the right are there. You know, I spoke to some leftists. One lady asked me, you know, why do I need an AR-15? And she was nice. Listen to my answer.
Yeah, I'm listening.
She didn't interrupt. She was very, very nice. Everybody was super nice, left and right.
Yeah. So I got done for racism on a Disney group that I'm part of because I posted this picture.
Okay.
Don't worry, I know where it is.
We're live on the air, so I'm just.
Yeah, I know. Because I.
Well, what was the picture?
You see this? I posted this picture.
Okay, so.
And my caption was "Where old meets new," and I wasn't even intending it to be political. And they said, "Oh, they and then I commented saying, "Oh, I prefer the original one too." And this was, "Oh, you're a racist. You hate black people."
So if people couldn't hold on.
Times.
So if people couldn't see it because it's kind of small, if they couldn't see it, it was the Little Mermaid, the original, like the White Little Mermaid, and then the new Little Mermaid together.
Yeah, and then they were all up in arms, and unfortunately, then that post had to get deleted because of so many negative comments saying, "Oh, like I was like, look." There goes the argument like saying, "Oh, mermaids are not real. Mermaids are not humans. So it doesn't matter if it's white or black." I'm sorry. She was a white mermaid in the original. Same way, if someone made a movie on Martin Luther King and they decided to portray, I don't know, what, Ben Affleck? I would boycott the movie immediately.
Nah, I hear you. I'm with you.
Same way I would boycott a movie that was blackwashed as well. I've said this so many times. If you want want to play the race card if you're whitewashing something, play the race card when it's the other way around. You
Right.
can't just pick and choose. It's outrageous either way.
That's right.
Yeah, and then Adam Schiff. This was a week or so ago when I was probably not there.
Okay, you got to be kind of quick because I got a limited amount of time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, what was that thing about Adam Schiff? Oh yeah, I think we've covered that.
All right, so I think that's probably it right there because I got to.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Well, I thank you for the callers.
Listen, the ISIS leader. Oh yeah, that got me a lot.
You got to be quick because I got time. Time's a ticking.
Out of the 3 headlines, even though I disagreed with all 3 of them, I still think that the terrorist in chief was the most accurate one. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. They should have just said rapist, extremist. What he truly is. No respect. You should give no respect to these leaders. You shouldn't. You just shouldn't.
I'm with you, man, 100%. You know, but thank you for the call as always, man. Definitely appreciate you.
I'm speaking to you too, ABL.
Oh, likewise.
Shall see you on Saturday because I have my semester now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'll see you on Saturday. Saturday your time. Sorry, Saturday my time. Sorry, Saturday your time. Sunday my time.
There you go.
I've been up for almost 24 hours, so I'm getting a bit,
Oh, it's all good, man. Thank you for the call as always. Definitely appreciate you.
I'll see you next Saturday.
All right, now take care.
Peace.
Peace. All right, my man nipping for the call. Thank him. Definitely appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna take a couple more calls, and then I gotta wrap up because I can't be here all night. Just gotta be real quick calls, like rapid fire. All right, call you on the line. 757. Who am I speaking to?
This is Cynthia.
Cynthia, how's everything going?
Great.
Good to hear from you.
I'm watching you. I know it's been a long time. I was watching you on the phone, so I had to not be able to see what was going on while I was dialing. So I was like, "Oh Lord, I guess if it's ringing, that means I can get through."
That's right.
But we have our local elections here, and probably a lot of other states on Tuesday.
Right.
And me and a friend of mine were saying we were suspicious because they got Vote Tuesday, like billboards everywhere. And even today, one of the signs that they have to tell you about traffic over at the Gilmerton Bridge, for those of you that know about Chesapeake, it says Vote Tuesday, the polls are open, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, that it seemed like they're really pushing a lot of voting. And there's another guy, older man, African American or black, by the way, that he thinks he's by himself. But he was like, yeah, he said maybe they're just trying to get the people who will vote for more, I said for more free stuff.
Oh yeah, Gilmerton Bridge is, Gilmerton Bridge is like right there. You about to go to Deep Creek, about to go to Portsmouth. I know that area very well. So yeah. That's right there.
Billboards are everywhere, Norfolk, everywhere. It seems like everywhere. I've been driving Lyft. So I'm like, what is with all these billboards? So, yeah, he was like, yeah, they really trying to get, certain people to vote, people that don't usually vote.
I see.
In this election. And if they have certain neighborhoods, they're just going to probably stereotypically vote Democrat if they do go. But usually they wouldn't go. But there's billboards everywhere. I was like, oh, my gosh.
Is Bobby Rush still there?
That don't sound familiar. Running for something delegate or some local senator or something.
What's his name? Not Bobby Rush. Pardon me. I forget his name. What's the
Oh, Bobby. Yeah, he's still around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name.
I know you know what I'm talking about though. Like in that Portsmouth, Petersburg, that district.
Yeah, the district that goes through 5 cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's still around. I don't think I have to vote for him, so I don't I don't know if we have to vote for him this time, but I know, that whole governor thing just went away. There's nobody making any noise about that.
Okay.
Our governor, that's abortion after birth, I called it. His abortion after birth comment, that kind of went away. The whole everything, it all just went away.
Right.
Nobody's talking anything about it, but so we really, we really got to get out and vote. And I think there's like a whole bunch of state elections in a lot of states, because these are the people that work with our governors. And, they're saying, and who to vote for when they say she goes along with Trump. You're like, okay, great. They think it's an attack.
Right.
Oh, okay, they think it's an attack. Like, we don't have the right to decide what to do with our own bodies. Okay, great. Because, like, what does that mean? Of course you have the right to decide to do with your own body, but so we know what that means. They want, and one of them says she wants to get rid of acceptable forms of birth control. I'm like, oh, okay. So that, I think that must be abortion or something.
Yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, you know who to vote for by the attack ass, but just pray. And I'm with the caller earlier. I need to start betting money that he's not going to be impeached. So I need some money, but we got to set a deadline though on this money that we're going to win. And so earlier somebody said something, and I can't remember. But yeah, so definitely we just got to keep praying.
Absolutely.
Got to keep praying.
No, that. Well, thank you for the call as always, though.
Yes, I know it's 11 o'clock.
Yeah, no, I had to get you in though, so I definitely want.
I know, I appreciate it because the election is coming. So, like, yeah, we got to vote because they are really pushing. I mean, it's amazing. And then I'm not gonna comment it, but I saw like 10 chemtrails today. And I usually only see one at a time. I saw like 10 going all across, for the people who understand. Look, huh?
So they're getting ready for it.
Yeah, they're getting ready. It's like for those who have ears to hear, we're not going to go into what we think it means, but that was different too. I was like, oh my gosh. But okay. I was going to ask you, like, I never did know why you moved to Tennessee, but you might not have time for that.
Yeah, that's
a
story.
Good to see the picture online.
Right.
Did you tell the story already and I missed it?
No. I'm gonna tell it though, but not at this moment.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I'll be looking. We appreciate you, as you always say. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you for the call.
All right. Thank you.
All right, now take care.
Good night.
All right. Thank you to Cynthia for the call. Most certainly appreciate her. All right. I gotta go because I'm over my time. If you couldn't get on, I'm sorry, but I try to run a real tight ship. 8 to 11. It's 11:06. I'm past my time, and I try to start like real prompt. 8 o'clock on the dot, sharp 11. So I gotta go. But thank y'all for joining. Definitely appreciate you. I'll be back with another live stream on Wednesday and another one the following Saturday. Sunday of next week, I'll be in Atlanta, Georgia for the Blexit rally. I'll be out there with Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, who else? David Harris Jr., Rob Smith, my dog. Shout out to my man, Rob Smith. Yes, he's gay, so what, and don't matter. That's still my dog. And we're going to be out there. It's going to be good. A lot of speakers, a lot of people from all over the region and the country. They're going to be hanging out. So if you're in Atlanta, you want to come through, it's all good. It's not race restricted. Anybody can come through. I think tickets are available on Candace Owens' Instagram page. It's not much. It's like $3. So we kind of avoid the trolls. Go to her page. Check it out. We're going to be in there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that'll be this coming, not tomorrow, but next Sunday. That'll be November the 10th, 2019. I will be in Atlanta, Georgia, in the Buckhead area for the Black Exit from the Democratic Party rally. So thank y'all for joining. I definitely appreciate you. And shout out to the moderators. You guys have been doing a great job tonight. Bill from the Hills, Liza Jean, Michelle A. Ansel, Zealand Zen, Nick Taylor, my man. Hey, thank you, Nick Taylor, on PayPal. I saw you. It says I'm breaking away from the pack. Hey, thank you for that, man. I definitely appreciate you for sure. And shout out to the other super chatters. Did I get everybody? I think I got everybody. I'm gonna just refresh right quick. Oh, shout out to Liza Jean, who says, I love hearing such a variety of callers. Hey, I'm right there with you. Thank you for the super chat. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you to S. Mahmoud, who says, please tell us about your run-in with Sean Hannity. No, thank you. Not right now, but thank you for your donation. Shout out to Matt, who says, ABL is a great guy, runs a tight show, hire a switchboard. I may do that in the future, for sure. All right. But shout out to all the mods. You guys have been great. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I thank you all for being here tonight. If you like what you've heard so far, please give the video a thumbs up if you've not done so already. If you're not subscribed already, please subscribe to me. Hit the bell as well so you get notified when I go live or post a new video. That's all I got for now. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.